All right, welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio this year. Oh, my goodness, we got a lot to talk about today. There is so much happening, and this police state that we are living in right now, where the President of the United States arrests their primary opponent that, according to all polling, is going to defeat them. It's getting worse, and I've got some big updates. I'm not going to waste any time getting to them, but I got some big updates on Jack Smith. He's that weirdo, corrupt special prosecutor that had President Trump arrested this week, and he is scheming with something that is very, very interesting and petty and pathetic and corrupt. But also, there was a big defeat for the special prosecutor that the media have not been reporting. So let me get into this, and your calls are certainly welcome at 1-888-GO-KANE-1, and a much less free America than we were in. Well, every day we're losing more freedoms, aren't we? 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are calling from. Okay. So something happened that none of us were told about in the news, because the news don't want you to know anything, right? They're state-controlled propagandists, and they don't really want us to know what is going on. And they've looked very miserable in the mainstream fake news media the last few days. And it's not just because President Trump got so much love in Miami after this arrest. Something happened that was bad news for them. Okay, now, we have two grand juries, right? We had the Miami grand jury, which rendered this indictment on President Trump that he had to surrender himself for this week. And then we have the D.C. grand jury. And we've been talking a lot that, well, they got this indictment in Miami. Now the D.C. grand jury, they're going to have another indictment, and it's just going to be endless. Well, guess what? Guess what? There is no D.C. grand jury. At least that's what's being reported right now. Yeah, in fact, because the Mar-A-Lago documents are in the state of Florida, the D.C. federal court didn't have jurisdiction over it, and this Jack Smith creep had to come to Florida, had to go to Miami to get the indictment against President Trump. They couldn't get it in D.C., so we're not going to get a D.C. indictment, and that's a major blow. That's a major blow. They couldn't get an indictment in D.C., so that's a major blow. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. But they're in a panic because it's not just that we have a MAGA judge. I was telling you yesterday, Fort Pierce in St. Lucie County, where the trial will be, if it gets to trial, is one of the most MAGA communities in America. The beaches in Fort Pierce opened up before any of the other beaches in Florida, right? I mean, that tells you how MAGA they are. So they're freaked out now, these deep staters. So now they're floating something new. This is in the Gateway Pundit. Prosecutor Andrew Weissmann yesterday floated additional and more serious federal charges against President Trump, this time in New Jersey. Special counsel Jack Smith last week indicted Trump on 37 federal counts in Miami, and that's what the surrender was for this week. News of the Florida grand jury was leaked to the media just days before Trump was hit with the 37 federal charges in Miami. Now remember, we didn't know there was a federal grand jury looking into Trump in Miami. It was a secret grand jury. They didn't want us to know about it. Up until last week, it was back to the Gateway Pundit here. Up until last week, it was reported Jack Smith only had a grand jury in D.C. hearing evidence in the classified documents case. Jack Smith, according to reports, hit a roadblock and was unable to bring certain charges in D.C. since Mar-A-Lago is located in Palm Beach. So he impaneled a grand jury in Florida to get charges against Trump. So we don't have to worry about the D.C. grand jury now. So, but what they're saying now is this. According to the indictment, in July 2021, at Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, that's where the supposed audio recording meeting with a reporter and two staffers took place, where they claim he showed the battle plans to go into Iran. Well, so now they're going to go to a federal court in New Jersey. They're going to impanel. They may have already done it, or it may be in process, but certainly their plan is to impanel another grand jury, this time in New Jersey, to go after him in a second document case in New Jersey. Now, this tape we keep hearing about that we haven't heard apparently is not part of the Miami case because it was in New Jersey. I didn't think it mattered in federal cases, but apparently it does. So we did get a victory. There is not a grand jury in New Jersey yet, as far as we know, and they may not get one. But it looks like the prosecutors in this police state we're living in, Jack Smith and his team, have run into some major roadblocks, and things are not going well for the prosecution's case. So that's good for us. But that doesn't mean they're going to stop. They're going to continue. And they're going to pull all kinds of tricks. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. A couple of things I want to mention, and then we'll take some calls at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. So something big came out courtesy of Greg Kelly on Newsmax. I talked about this on my podcast last night, which, by the way, if you don't, you should listen to my podcast. The Brian Craig Show podcast is on all podcast platforms. Every podcast platform, including Spotify and iHeartRadio and everything else. Just search the Brian Craig Show podcast. I talked about this in great detail on my podcast last night, but I'll give you the capsulized version because there was another major blow, courtesy of Greg Kelly at Newsmax, to these creeps prosecuting our great president, Donald Trump. And this is what happened. Now, we've been seeing photographs inside Mar-A-Lago of dozens and dozens of boxes, right? The bathroom boxes, the boxes on the stage, the boxes in the storeroom. And this was entered into evidence with the indictment in the document case. Well, what Greg Kelly uncovered that no one else, not me, not any of these legal minds that have been on TV talking about this indictment, what Greg Kelly, who is not an attorney, covered on Newsmax, is the number of classified documents that they seized from Mar-A-Lago. Now, there were just, I don't know how many boxes there were. Several dozen boxes have been shown in these photographs. Do you know how many documents they seized? Just over 100. I can't remember the exact number. I'll have to look at the story. But just over 100. And they give details on the size of those documents. So it's a little more than 1,100 pages. So Greg Kelly, he saw that, and he did something that was absolutely amazing. He went to the office supply store, and he got the exact number of pages in blank printer paper, and he got one of those office moving boxes, and he put 1,100 pieces of paper in there, which would equal the papers and the documents seized from Mar-A-Lago. It didn't even fill up one box. In fact, it was about half a box. So the documents they seized are less than a full box, just about half a box. So why are they showing us like 100 boxes? You know, what they're doing, this is a big blow also to these lowlifes that are prosecuting our president. So they're showing all these other boxes that President Trump said are filled with socks and shoes and clothes and photographs and newspaper clippings and all kinds of things. But they want you to think that all of those boxes are stuffed with classified documents, when in fact they seized the classified documents that they claim he has no right to have in his possession, and it's not even enough to fill just one box, which shows you how few documents that they claim that he was not allowed to have in his possession he actually had. I mean, this is amazing. So yeah, 102 pages. 102 pages, I've been told. So yeah, 102 documents. It's 102 documents. That totals a little over 1,000 pages. Doesn't even fill up one box. So why are they showing all these pictures? Because what they've got is so little, it's not even worth a mention. So they're showing all these other boxes to imply that he has classified documents stacked to the ceiling. So there have been major, major blows to these corrupt prosecutors in the last 24 to 48 hours. Since Trump left the courtroom, a lot of things have happened, and none of it has been good for these police state people that are persecuting our president. All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines.
It's great stuff. I mean, they've just really blown it. Which is a good thing. We want them to blow it, right? It was 102 documents. 102 documents. That's what Greg Kelly said. Hold on, guys. I gotta get made a mess over here. I gotta get a wet paper towel from the kitchen.
Technology for free. So not only do you get a human security advisor, you get a customized home security system with professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. The system includes LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 armed doors, and backup battery. But most importantly, the people who stand behind it. So call Sloman's at 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. Sloman's, the difference is human.
Oh, yeah, this is great stuff. It's falling apart for them before it's even begun. You know, they're losing it. They're losing everything. That's why Jack Smith was shaking in that press conference last week. He's very nervous, as he should be, because he's got nothing. Oh, man. Here we go.
Hey neighbor, are you ready for our
If you're on hold, hang in there. If you happen to be one of the callers on hold.
The truck is done. What? You're moving? No, I have 2 men in the truck junk removal coming. 2 men in a truck does junk removal? Yeah, the same 2 men in a truck we trust for moving and storage can now handle all my junk removal needs. And I'll be able to get my car in the garage. And find your golf clubs. 2menpalmbeach.com and 2mentreasurecoast.com. Now offering junk removal.
This is Lori Kane. When people go to
I almost rode the MAGA scooter today, and I'm glad I didn't, because I got about 3/4 of the way here, and it was raining pretty hard.
And the prices are painless too. Call today, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. BrightonDentalCare.com.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldies FLA.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It is the Steve Kane Show. That's right. I misspoke. Lost my train of thought because I was reading something. Hey, guys, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. If you're on hold, hang in there. You know, have you ever known someone who's had back surgery, shoulder surgery, knee surgery for pain, and after they had the surgery, their pain was gone? I have not. I have not. In fact, everyone I've known and everyone I've encountered who's had one of those types of surgeries, They said, yeah, I got my surgery and my second surgery scheduled for, whenever. I'm like, what? Listen, if you've been told you need surgery for any type of pain, for any of these injuries, before you do that, before you have surgery, go see Dr. Appleton and talk to him about the laser away pain treatment. There are people in this listening audience who were told they needed surgery and now they don't. The laser away pain treatment works on all kinds of pain, and I'm an anti-surgery guy. I get surgery when it's like necessary. The only surgery I've ever had, I had LASIK eye surgery, oh goodness, about 25 years ago. And I need reading glasses. It's been a long time, but I can see. I have 20/15 vision far away. I just can't see what I'm reading. But I had LASIK eye surgery about 25 years ago, and I had my tonsils out when I was 18 years old, which is rather old to have your tonsils removed surgically. But I'm a very anti-surgery guy. But maybe you do need surgery, but you know what? Maybe the laser away pain treatment, which is completely pain-free, there's no downtime, no injection, no surgery, will work for you. No appointment is necessary, and walk-ins are welcome at Dr. Appleton's office, even on Saturdays. He's open on Saturdays. You can find him online at appletonchiro.com or give him a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. So if you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot already, but I'll recap in a little bit. We'll take some calls. Things are not going well for Jack Smith and these corrupt people persecuting President Trump. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, I looked up real quick that D.C. grand jury charges are on hiatus, so that means they're waiting. And I believe that you said something about Jersey, but I also think that maybe in Georgia, Arizona, and other places where Trump questioned the legality
Yeah.
of vote count are going to do the same thing. And we're going to see this as a domino effect, and Trump is going to take them down.
No, I'm telling you, what we have found, this is, no. See, they haven't dismissed the grand jury in D.C. Grand juries are, but they don't want to make an official dismissal because that would be but the D.C. grand jury so far is charging Trump is done. And what they found is they couldn't charge him there because there were no documents in the jurisdiction. That's why they came to Florida. And this thing in Jersey is very questionable since they brought the charges in Florida already. So they've had a major defeat, these prosecutors. It's just no one's reporting it. So they're not going to go around the country and try to charge him here, there, and everywhere in a domino effect. I don't know if someone said that, where you picked that up from. That's not the case at all. In fact, it looks like Jack Smith, as much of a liberal weirdo he is flipping out. Like, what did I get myself into?
And, but this shows you that the dominoes are falling everywhere, exposing them more of the crimes they're committing against President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Any attempt they try to do from here on is going to make them worse. It's only helping Trump. He's gaining more money, more support, and
Apparently, President Trump has raised $7 million this week for his campaign.
Where's the support for the mainstream news media?
Where the support for the Democrats is, of course, in Beijing.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Brian.
Yeah.
This is not just about America. It really isn't.
Mm-hmm.
The whole world will suffer when President Trump comes back because they're going to have to pay their fair share, and they're going to have to deal with a man that knows what he's doing.
That's right.
I can't stand that because he put them all in place and told them how it's going to be America first.
That's right, and they're going to have another defeat on another issue. Oh, and by the way, don't forget, Letitia James announced that the Bragg case against Trump, that's off the table now. So they've had major losses. And they're going to get a big loss with Neely with this subway incident because now that things are coming out about what happened, this guy on the subway was threatening to kill people, women and children on the train. And so Neely, they're going to lose that case. Things are not going well for these evildoers in the left.
And President Trump is just gaining momentum like never before. It's like, they thought everything they've thrown at him, he's totally beat him. And
Yeah, this is...
I don't understand
Yeah.
They just don't say, hey, 2024, we're going to let Trump win because we can't stop him.
Well, they've trying everything they can to stop him because they know he is unbeatable. All right, Jeff, take care. Thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, this guy, Jack Smith.
I got a full board, and I get Mike from Louisiana.
Man, hatchet man, right?
Yeah.
He's failing like everything else. I mean, he's failing like Biden's failing.
That's right. That's right.
This is a guy that, okay, we're going to go, what's he going to do now? Is he going to go raid Trump's place in bad register?
Yeah, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about a New Jersey grand jury now because they know they're going to lose this case in Miami. Now that we know that the classified documents that they seized, this is amazing. Greg Kelly broke this. We got to give him lots of credit that he's due. Greg Kelly on Newsmax broke the documents at Mar-A-Lago that they seized, that they said he was in illegal possession of, fill about half a box. All these boxes we're seeing are socks and newspapers and photographs and toiletries. They're not documents. They've been lying. They've been lying to the court. They've been lying to the grand jury, and they've been lying to us. Hey, listen, I got to run for a break, Mike. Take care. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. We're up against our bottom of the hour break. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Back with your calls after this break.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning.
I sent you I sent you a video that tells you how to use it. I sent you a YouTube video that shows you how to use it, but the first one is the link to the presets. But I can show you how to use it if you want. If you use it, it's easy.
Yeah, I mean, if you can, I just don't want you to have to stay a little bit longer because.
It'll take 10 seconds.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's just look up online and Google how to add presets to it. I'd have to look it up. I can't remember. I should have thought about that because I got a list at home on my wall that tells you how to load presets into it. It's pretty easy, but if you Google how to do it, it takes like 2 minutes, and then when you open it up, it'll be a multi-track, and I'll show, and you'll take this file and just drag it into it.
Okay.
It's easy, but if you get that set up, it'll take 10 seconds.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
They use the, for all my audio production for my podcast, I use, in the commercials I record, I use Adobe Audition. And they use Adobe Audition here, and I've got some presets that I use for the my podcast sounds spectacular, right, with Kathy? I have some presets I use to process the audio for my podcast. I'm giving them to Mike so we can use them on the podcast here at the radio station. Is this same Audition the one in every room? Like, is it or is it separate on each computer? You know what I mean? Well, does it mirror is what's on this one on that one and on that one, or is each one individual?
It's the same.
Like if you pulled up
all the files and stuff
if you pulled Adobe up in the production room, it wouldn't have that now? Oh, okay, so you got to put it on the computer you do it on.
Yeah.
You got to do it on each individual.
Yes, but once it is saved into the computer, you can open up on either one. All the whole system's connected itself, but yeah, like Adobe's up in there, but it's not recorded.
You'll see. You don't have to do anything. It does like 30 different things, and yeah, I use it on my every podcast I do it on it. Yeah.
I've listened to podcasts before. It sounds really good.
Yeah, it sounds better when when it's set up and you listen to the before and after, you'll see. You'll see. Well, it should equal out the levels of like me and Steve and stuff is what I'm thinking is what it'll do. And the spots hopefully, but.
Oh yeah, your spot, like I was saying yesterday, your spots always sound good. It's just
Yeah.
the other spots, I don't know if they got processed in the system wrong.
Yeah.
And we have a new brand launching called Ben's Badass Bloody Mary Mix. So look for that because we're going to have our resting brunch face on.
This sounds perfect. Once again, I'm going to go to bloomersfrose.com.
Thank you.
Brian Craig here with a question for seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a healthcare advocate at the touch of a button? Would that make life easier for you? You can with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will help you set up doctor's
What's a great day?
appointments,
I mean, we're just
help
winning,
you
winning,
find
winning.
pharmacists to make sure that you have your prescriptions. They'll help you find a doctor, including a specialist. If you've been billed improperly by a doctor's office,
FYI, Brian, what did I miss, Douglas?
they'll even be your advocate when you're in the hospital to make sure you get the care you need and the care you deserve. And that's just the beginning of what they do. I Will Advocates takes care of all Steve Kane's healthcare issues too, and they can do the same for you. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Call Debbie at I Will Advocates right now.
Yeah, Kathy, my daughter, got me this for Father's Day. She gave it to me early. As I kind of, it came in the mail, and I kind of like opened it. It's nice, isn't it? I have a blue one. They got me last year, and I got this one. So, pretty cool, huh?
I'll give you a hint. It's not love, power, or money. Think of it yet?
It's got pockets in it.
And what type of pain creeps up for the majority?
Oh, don't worry. I got a big story on the Bidens we're going to get into, too, on Joe.
Everyone complains about their feet hurting, and no matter our age or physical condition, none of us are exempt from sore and achy feet at the end of a long day. Come to Noble Shoes and give your feet a break. Why settle for less when your feet deserve more? Our Fedora
Yeah, this is from the official Trump store, and the material is so nice on these. They're not cheap, but it's so comfortable.
Our 40 years of experience help you. We carry top brands like New Balance, Hoka, Brooks, SAS, Birkenstock, Dansko, and more. Don't forget our in-house shoe repair services as well. Come to Noble Shoes in Palm Beach Gardens and Delray Beach. Call 842-7400. That's 842-7400. Stay mobile at Noble.
I invite you to join me at the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce because
Okay, this is the last commercial. Then we'll be back.
with like-minded people
Oh.
and businesses, the chamber
Yeah, this hoodie is from the official
you get to connect
Trump
with
store.
people that will become your best friends. Weekly events give you ample opportunities to learn alongside talented professionals. At the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, we are better together. Become a member at delraybeach.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
Oh, yes. Oh, man. What a great day. More victories for Trump, more victories for MAGA, more victories for America as the police state is losing. I got a big story coming up in a little bit, too, on Joe Biden. Don't worry. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Roz. How you doing?
Hey, Roz.
A couple of things. Did you hear the song that Kid Rock wrote for President Trump and his followers?
Yes, I know of it. I haven't heard the song. I'm familiar with it.
Called We the People?
Mm-hmm.
You and Kathy need to listen to that song. I think it's so funny. But I was listening to you guys last night, and no disrespect, but I have to agree with Kathy. Melania should have been sitting there holding his hand in court, because if he were my husband, that's what I would have been doing. I wouldn't have been getting my hair done.
Well, what my wife was talking about on my podcast last night is that Melania was not at the courthouse in Miami. She was apparently in New York. She had a dental appointment and something else. Yeah, I would like to have seen her there too.
Yeah, well, I didn't see her in New York either, and I thought, what is this, Because when you're married to somebody and they're going through this, you should be there to stand by them. And last thing, because I know you got other callers, Greg Kelly and Rob Schmidt are really good. They really love President Trump, and they tell the truth about him.
Yeah, they're very good. They're the two best shows in cable news. They really are. They're very. All right, Roz, take care. Thanks for the call.
You too. Bye-bye.
I like how Roz has adopted the nickname I gave her, Roz. That's not her real name. I forgot what it is. She was using a real name. I was calling her Roz because she sounds like Roz from Monsters, Inc., and she's adopted that. She kind of likes it. That's good. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Mark Davis.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Mark?
Okay, I was in Miami with the Trump rally, and I'll let you know that the FBI arrested.
Oh, it's too bad. I was just about to ask him what exit off of I-95 he took to get to the courthouse, since I'm really here and he's not. All right, well, oh my goodness. You know that the Russians have detained another American? That's right. An American paratrooper and rock musician, Michael Travis, I guess is it Leak or Leaky? Leake. Would that be Leak or Leaky? That's right. He's a U.S. veteran, an American paratrooper. He's being held on drug trafficking charges in Moscow. He was been on MTV, and he was on television with Anthony Bourdain, who committed suicide. That's right. A U.S. military veteran and rock band musician has been arrested on suspicion of drug trafficking. Michael Travis Leakey, who actually lives in Russia, apparently, was detained on Saturday for allegedly selling amphetamines. You think they're going to trade any arms dealers for him? I guess, since he, this guy here, I don't know. I've never heard of this guy before, but I'll tell you this. He's not going to get any help. You know why he's not going to get any help? Because he's white. He's not with Black Lives Matter. He's not gay. And he's a white man. So he's on his own. He's not going to get any help at all. And, it's so sick and twisted how the Democrats operate, isn't it? It really is. Now, Joe Biden's in trouble. He's in big, big trouble. There was a reporter yesterday who shouted at Biden, are there phone recordings of you taking bribes? Did you see that? Oh, my goodness. And now some information has come forward. Now, we got a lot of information in the last week or two, right? Joe Biden took a $10 million bribe. 5 for him, 5 for Hunter. But we know the Hunter money was for Joe. Right? So this is huge. Then we got the follow-up, and they have a document that proves it, right? With a very credible source that's been with the FBI for many years as a source of criminal activity, a criminal informant. And then we got the story a few days ago that there were 17 phone conversations, 17 audio tapes of the Bidens talking about the bribes with the witness. 15 of them are Hunter, 2 are Joe. Well, listen to this. Joe Biden, on his personal tax returns, after an investigation took place, of course, this was found, that one of his corporate entities, he's got a bunch of corporations apparently, that's what he does the money laundering through, but one of Joe Biden's corporate entities reported $10 million in revenue without detailing the source. It's an S-corp that he has. That's the bribe. That's the bribe. Why does this guy have corporations? Why has he got an S-corp? What business is he in other than selling favors and corrupt politicking? That's the bribe right there. We have all this evidence. But, this is the thing about Joe Biden. There's stuff about Joe Biden, and he's certainly a criminal, is not being exposed by any investigative journalist. The FBI is giving all this information to the Congress, to the Republican House. I want you to think about this. The FBI are bringing down Joe Biden. And what they're trying to do is stop him from running for re-election. They did not want him to run for re-election. Who they had in mind exactly, I'm not sure. It might have been Newsom. Who knows? We don't know exactly what the plans of the Democrats were. But the plan was not to have Biden run for re-election. And then he went out and announced he's running and refused to step aside for whoever they wanted to plug in. So all these things are coming out because the deep state, isn't this interesting? The deep state, they're not really that partisan. They're almost bipartisan. The same people that have been going after Trump are going after Biden. So now there's one big difference, though. The one big difference about the deep state going against Biden, going against Trump, is a big one. They're exposing actual criminal activity that Biden is involved in. Donald Trump didn't commit any crime, so they're not revealing criminal activity, they're manufacturing it. But I find it really interesting that the FBI are doing this. Now, it's not being reported that way, but the document about the bribe was an FBI document. The witness about the bribe is an FBI criminal informant. The recordings of Joe and Hunter taking the bribe on the recordings, that's FBI evidence. Everything has come from the FBI. Isn't that something? You know, and it's a scary thing when you look at how much power and influence the FBI have over all of our lives and our government and our country, and it looks like they're really running the show. But, you know, a lot of people will say, because when it becomes obvious what's going on here, that it's the FBI doing this, what a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, you like the deep state when it's convenient. No, the FBI, now they may not be doing it for the right reasons, but in the Joe Biden case, the FBI are doing what they're supposed to do. Law enforcement, they're bringing a criminal to justice. The criminal's name is Joe Biden. So that's what they're supposed to do. We don't mind when the FBI go after criminals and expose and arrest and prosecute criminals and bring criminals to justice. That's a good thing. So what they're doing with Joe Biden is very good because he's a criminal and they're exposing his criminal activity. Okay? What they're doing to Donald Trump is not that, because Donald Trump has not committed any crimes. Big difference. So don't let anyone tell you there's oh, well, you like the FBI because they're going after Biden. No, we still don't like them, but they're at least doing what they're supposed to do. Can you imagine what other crimes they have? And this is the thing about it. This is how they maintain control. This is how J. Edgar Hoover remained director until his death. How long was he director? Like 50 years. It's because they have these files and evidence on everybody in Washington. And Joe Biden stood up to them and didn't care and said, I'm running even though you don't want me to run. So the FBI have leaked out a little bit of the dirt that they have on him. I'm sure they've got stuff that's much worse. But they've leaked out some of the things they have on Joe Biden. That's this bribe through Burisma, which is something we knew about, but we didn't have evidence of it. So they've released all the evidence, and it's really they're not trying to get him out of office. They're satisfied with Joe Biden finishing his term. They don't want Willie Brown's girlfriend as the president. They just want him to announce that he's not seeking re-election. And I saw Joe Biden yesterday when that reporter yelled at him, are there recordings of you taking the bribe, Mr. President? He looked out of it. And the reason he looked out of it is not just because he's out of it. You know, whatever he has, whatever form of dementia he has, dementia symptoms are triggered by stress. And he's under a tremendous amount of stress because he's been doing crime his whole life, and this is the first time that there's been any accountability for the criminal activity he's taken part in. So the reason he looks so out of it is because of the stress he's under from all of these things that are leaking out. All right, we're going to take our last break of the first hour, come back with more calls, and I got a lot more to cover too. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you about how my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, has rid me of pain from a knee injury and arthritis pain with his laser away pain treatment. Don't just take my word for it. This is one of our callers who called me live on the radio to tell me how chiropractic physician Dr. Philip Appleton helped him with his laser away pain treatment.
You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Sean, calling from Boca Raton. I want to thank you guys once again. I've listened to this show since the mid-'80s. Thank you for introducing me to Dr. Appleton, Brian and Steve. I went in there last week. I had a knee problem.
If you go to, someone asked about emailing. If you go to my website, briancraigshow.com, briancraigshow.com, you can email there, briancraigshow.com.
Right now, 954-973-0710, 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonChiro.com. Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day to buy one get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way too.
Go to mypillow.com and use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, and buy your MyPillow 2.0.
Welcome. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. This is the most pro-Donald Trump place you'll find anywhere on the planet Earth. It's true.
1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Jupiter yet? If you're looking for the best seafood in town, you have to try Chowderheads. You'll love their authentic New England seafood, fruit and fresh from Boston.
Oh, my goodness, guys. It's beautiful. I mean, you know, they keep coming after him, and they lose every time. Think about it. Things are so bad for these Trump haters. They gotta bring out files on Biden's crimes. That's how desperate they're getting.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we are back. My name is Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I just looked the six-piece My Pillow towel set. Wow, clearance sale is going on. Just $25 for the My Pillow six-piece towel set. That, of course, is with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And I have the My Pillow towels. I dried my body off with the My Pillow towels this morning. They are the best towels I've ever had. They do what Mike Lindell says, towels that actually work. And work they do. So that's a great deal. They come in, let's see here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, I think 10 different colors, too. We have 2 sets, one for each bathroom. The six-piece My Pillow towel set, normally $49.99, just $25 with our promo code KANE at checkout. That is a great, great deal. By the way, you can take advantage of all the specials at mypillow.com with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once. Hello? Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Flex from San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And,
oh, boy. Here we go. Here we go.
What we're going to talk about is, it's not really anything about, you know, the politics.
Yeah, well, then you're calling the wrong place. This isn't a place where losers in the middle of the night that live with their parents call in and just mumble about things. You know what kids used to do? Like when I was in high school, like you, and I was out of school for the summer. You know what I did? Yeah, I know. He's getting all nervous now. You know what I did during the summer when I was in high school? You know what I did? I had a job, okay? And I worked. And then when I wasn't working, I was hanging out with girls and my friends and stuff like that. Guys today, you know, yesterday, before I get back to the news, guys today are, young guys, I was in Chipotle yesterday. After the show, I went to Chipotle, got Chipotle, brought lunch home to my wife, and I was in line. I usually do the mobile order and pick it up, but I was in line. There were 3 guys in front of me, and they were high school age. And one of them did to the other one something that guys didn't do when I was in high school to each other. There were 3 guys, and one guy reached over to the other guy and started picking stuff off of his neck and touching his neck and rubbing his neck a little bit and brushing stuff off his neck. What's going on? Yeah, I tell you. You know, if you're in high school or college, guys, and you're straight, you've got the whole world open to you. Because I feel bad for the young women. There are not any like masculine men, masculine guys in high school or college for them to date. It must be such a weird thing. But I will say this, you know, if you're out there in the single world, guys, before you have sex with any single woman, first get out your iPhone, or if you have an Android, have an iPhone, get out your cell phone and get a video consent recorded from the girl consenting to you having sex with her, and keep it for life. Because I read these stories of women coming forward making all kinds of claims from many years ago. So there you go. All right. You're on the air.
I got disconnected.
Yeah. No, I don't remember you. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Are we going to have to start screening the calls? Oh, my goodness. Losers and bums. That's okay. I told you, when it's the summertime, we get all the West Coast loser guys that don't have girlfriends calling. It happens. It's fine. Don't worry about it. That's the future, man. That's the future of the country. Okay, so public television. Did you see what PBS did to President Trump's speech at Mar-A-Lago? PBS actually carried Trump's speech at, not Mar-a-Lago, but at Bedminster in New Jersey. When he, after the arrest, and he had his address to the nation, PBS actually carried it, unlike CNN and MSNBC. But did you see what they did? They put a disclaimer and a warning on the screen while President Trump was talking. So they got the video. It's President Trump at the podium. He's speaking right outside the doorway. You guys saw it. On the left, they've got their logo, PBS NewsHour. And then the rest of the screen underneath, it says context. Listen to this. Experts warn that inflammatory rhetoric from elected officials or people in power can prompt individual actors to commit acts of violence. So what they've done here is they have this warning while President Trump's talking. You know, what the left have done right now is fine. This is a good thing, and I'll tell you why. The left have a lot of problems, but the biggest problem that liberals have, and not just today, throughout the history of the left, they have the same problem, no matter what decade or century it is or what the issues are of the day. It doesn't matter. The one problem liberals of every era have in America are boundary issues. Boundary issues, right? No matter what they get, no matter what they win, it's not enough. They keep pushing, they keep pushing, they keep pushing. And one of the new kicks that the liberals are on is that anyone who disagrees with them is dangerous and is inciting violence. But violence isn't actually a physical act, okay? What violence is sharing an opinion that the left don't like. And what the left are doing, and they've been doing this for the past couple of years, January 6th is what allowed them to start making this move, and they continue to do it all the time, is to declare MAGA a domestic hate group and stop MAGA from meeting in groups of more than one. And anytime someone conservative is speaking, especially someone who is MAGA, they say that speech is an act of violence. In fact, PBS put this on the screen, but CNN and MSNBC refused to air President Trump because they said he could indeed inspire violence just by his words. And I'll tell you why it's a good thing when the left do this. Because the left, they always push the boundaries, and then there's a backlash. Like, do you know why President Trump won in 2016? Why do you think? When he came down the escalator and won with a massive victory in 2016. He won. President Trump's election in 2016 was a backlash from Barack Obama's radicalism. And Barack Obama is very radical. People don't realize this. I mean, he destroyed the private healthcare industry in this country, which was about 20% of the U.S. economy. And he did a lot of other terrible things. And he was a socialist, a communist. Socialist is nice. He's a communist. That's what he told Joe the plumber. Sometimes you got to spread the wealth around. That's communism 101. And Trump was a backlash response to the nonsense and the extremism of Barack Obama. And right now what's going on, President Trump having record high support, greater support than he's ever had at any point in his political career, is a backlash to what the left, what the Uniparty, what the government, what the Democrats, what the Republican establishment are doing to him now. So it's really playing right into our hand. On Friday last week, I was upset. And here we are almost a week later because, well, the indictment was last Thursday, but we're a week and a day away from Friday again. And I don't have a worry in the world. I feel refreshed and I'm excited. And let them keep doing what it is that they do. Okay? They have boundary issues. Let them refuse to air things. Let them put disclaimers. And I'll say this about PBS with their disclaimer over President Trump while he's speaking. Do not ever donate money to public television. They have so much money. Have you ever been to a public television set? Oh my goodness. I had a friend who worked at PBS in Miami. I was down there many times with them. And then one time Steve was a guest on one of the shows on PBS. And they have so much money, you have no idea. And when Steve was down there, Steve was a guest on one of these political shows on public television. And they filmed it in Miami, and I went with him. And we went to this massive sound stage like they have in Hollywood. I was very surprised how big it was. And they had all these different sets around that were on wheels. And they're for different things, cooking shows, art shows, discussion shows, political shows. They had all these sets around. And it was dark. Then they turned the lights on, and they started to set up the set for the show that Steve was going to be on. And they turned the lights on. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I saw it had wheels. And I was waiting for a bunch of stagehands to come out and move the set. It was, you could drive the set. It was like a float in the Macy's Day Parade at Thanksgiving. And they had, I don't know how many sets, 10, 12, 15 sets. I could have driven the set down the street. I could drive it to work. They have so much money at PBS. Never give a dime to those liberal jerks. I had a friend who worked in sports radio, big guy. He did play-by-play for the World Series more than once. He quit that job to go work for public radio because public radio paid more than the people that were paying him to call the plays for the World Series. Can you imagine? Public radio, public television are swimming in money. These liberal jerks don't need your money. But I'll tell you, I'm glad they put that disclaimer on President Trump's speech. I'm very glad they did, and I'm glad we found out about it, too. So let them keep doing what it is they do. It will just make our victory in 2024 that much easier. By the way, where's Ron DeSantis been this week? I haven't seen nor heard of him. In fact, I believe he has not even tweeted since the arrest of Donald Trump. Now listen, we're coming up on the top of the hour break. If you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to jump into some other issues after the break because a lot has happened since I left you yesterday morning. We're also going to get to more of your calls. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are calling from. And don't forget, if you ever miss a portion of the show, go to our radio station website, trueoldiesfla.com. And at trueoldiesfla.com, about an hour after we sign off the air every day, the entire show is uploaded on the website and is archived there forever. So maybe you called in and you want to hear your call, you can do that too. trueoldiesfla.com. All right, we'll take our break for the top of the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll be back right after this break.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic.
Yeah, I sent you a video on how to do the presets. Yeah.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you
I just looked. Do you know how many calls? Tell me in the chat, just this week, okay? How many calls do you think we've received in the this week on the show? Just this week. Because I can tell. I know the exact number. Just this week. And it's only Thursday, and the Thursday show's just started. So how many calls do you think we have received here on the show just so far this week? Then I'll tell you. There's no prize.
great food and fun at PBKC. Bring the whole family to the Paddock Restaurant where everyone can enjoy exceptional dining with USDA prime steaks,
But I'll tell you
and more. Plus the
after we get some guesses. Just up to this point this week.
Father's Day, June 18th. PBKC is your entertainment destination.
A lot of guesses.
Information, go to pbkennelclub.com. Here's your True Oldies ABC News update.
So this would be Monday through this point. I'll tell you, 1,018. 1,018 calls. Just during the 3 hours up until, from Monday to this point. 1,018. Crazy.
Word out of Colorado Springs that the accused gunman in the Club Q massacre last year expected to take a plea deal to murder and hate crime charges would ensure at least a life sentence. Anderson Lee Aldrich charged with fatally shooting 5 and wounding 17. The Pacific Maritime Association has announced it's reached a tentative agreement with the union representing workers at all 29 West Coast ports. It's a 6-year deal with no other details. In a statement, President Biden congratulating both sides, declaring collective bargaining works. This is ABC News.
You could throw your flip-flop at a bug.
Yeah, 1,018. Yeah. Huh.
Statistically, it's still alive. Unlikely. Good thing nature's got your back. Stem bugs
That is a lot.
powerful active ingredients found in plants like lemongrass and geraniol and scientifically engineer them into effective bug-fighting formulas, safe for use as directed around people, pets, and throughout the home. STEM. Rooted in nature, optimized by science.
A good home security system has a bajillion parts. You've got your motion sensors, glass break detectors, camera lenses, signal relays, but none of that really matters because one important piece, a human being. That's right, a real human being. When a Sloman's home security advisor visits a home, they get to know the people that live there. They listen and learn. That's how they come up with the best solution to keep you safe. Yeah, you can buy all those fancy gadgets yourself, but what are all those without the humans behind the technology? Sloman's believes in their people so much, they give you the technology for free. So not only do you get a human security advisor, you'll receive a customized home security system with professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. The system includes an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 armed doors, and a backup battery. But most importantly, the people who stand behind it. So call Sloman's at 1-833-5050.
We're coming back after this, guys.
That's 1-833-283-5050. Sloman's, the difference is human.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, hour number 2 has begun. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. I was just telling everyone during the break. This week, up until this point, this is interest. I'm not going to troll for calls and guesses on this. I'm going to just tell you the answer. Up from starting on Monday to this point, which is just, we're not even through Thursday yet, right? It's 7:05 in the morning. between Monday morning at 6 a.m. and right now, at this point on Thursday morning, do you know how many calls we've received on this radio show this week? You know? Do you know how many? How many do you think, Mike? You know? Oh, you were watching me on YouTube. I told everybody on YouTube. 1,018 calls so far this week we've received on this show. 1,018 calls just since Monday. It doesn't, and that includes the first hour of today, but not even the whole Thursday. We got Friday. That's just really in 3 days. 3 days and an hour of the show. 1,018. Obviously, they have not all made it on the air. All right. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm 1019.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. Is that crazy?
Well, things are on fire because we're on fire. Can I ask you a question? I'm just curious about this. And I did see that Greg Kelly show, and it is once again deception, trying to visually lie to the people of this country. But we're on to them already, and that's for sure. I got to ask you a question. The Uniparty yesterday was actually you actually saw it at work. Who was the biggest liar of President Trump that you know of in Congress
in
the last 4 years?
Adam Schiff.
Right, and yesterday, Anna Polina of Florida voted to censure him, which would have cost him, I think it was $16 million or something, because he cost the country all that money. Guess what? 20-something Republicans voted not to do it.
That's right.
What does that tell you? What does that tell you people here that we don't have Republicans that have spine? They're part of them. They go out with them, they have dinner with them, they do everything on the weekend with them, and then they vote with them. And they're Republicans.
Yeah, we have a one-party state. It was 20 Republicans. I was going to get to that in a little bit, but that's okay. Let me pull up this story. Okay, it says here. Let me go through the story. Let's see here. On Tuesday, Representative Luna, who I like her a lot, announced that. Oh yeah, and she's good looking too. Our women are good looking. The Democrat women, Why are all the Republican women hot? You know, we got Carrie Lake, we got Luna. You know, have you seen President Trump's assistant that was at the courthouse? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Anyway, Luna announced that the House would vote to censure and fine Adam Schiff this week. According to the Office of House Minority Whip Catherine Clark, a procedural vote on the measure was scheduled. 20 Republicans voted not to censure Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff, you know, he's a complete sociopath. He's a psycho. You look in his eyes. You look in his eyes. You look at his face. He's insane. Did you catch Greg Kelly last night?
No, I haven't.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Greg Kelly on Newsmax. Newsmax should be buying spots on this radio station. I give them more publicity than anyone else, okay? And I'm giving it to them for free. We shouldn't do that. I might get in trouble for doing that. But anyway, no, Greg Kelly, last night, he broke something new, that it was amazing. So he was showing those boxes that they overturned on Trump's floor at Mar-A-Lago, where they had those, and they said, oh, look at these classified documents, and they spread them out, and they had those printed papers that had the red border that said classified on them. You remember that? Spread all over the place. He showed Peter Strzok on an MSNBC interview that he was doing from his house. And, you know, when these people do these interviews from home, they do them in front of bookshelves so that they can look smart and have these books behind. Behind him, he had two of those exact same papers with the books, up against the books, classified documents. So, yeah. And you have to be you got to have a sharp eye for that. I don't know how Greg Kelly found it. And then he zoomed in on it and showed that Peter Strzok had these classified document papers behind him on MSNBC. I don't know what he was talking about. I'm sure he was trashing Trump. That was amazing. And also the night before Greg Kelly, I catch Greg Kelly a day late because he's on past my bedtime. They moved him to 10 p.m. I can't stay up that late. When he was on at 7, I never missed a show. He had another one the night before where he had Bob Woodward on admitting that Barack Obama showed him classified information. And Woodward doesn't have clearance. It was amazing. He said it on CNN.
Brian, this whole thing is just like the dossier. They got in there to Mar-a-Lago, and they had nobody. They couldn't go. The people in Mar-a-Lago had to stay away. Remember, they kept the lawyers, everyone out. They could have gone in there with thousands of classified, at least printed documents that said classified, and sold everything and thrown them on the floor. And this was a stage set up once again. This president that we had in the White House 4 years ago was the most honest man you could. When he said, I went through the law, he did. They are trying to set him up on one indictment after the other. This is not going to stop. You're right. But you know what's funny? The American people are onto it.
That's right. That's right. And, you know, President Trump, when he gave his speech at Bedminster, New Jersey the other night, he dropped something that we've talked about in thought, but he confirmed it. He said in that speech, he says he has video recordings of the entire raid on Mar-a-Lago. He gave them copies, but he has the original. So at some point, we're going to see them ransack Barron's room, Melania's underwear. People are going to be disgusted. The president's desk.
Yeah, you know what else he has? What he said? The first time called them communists.
That's right.
And that's what they are. That's what they are. And the people better wake up. And nobody can. How can an American support this party? I mean, you can go on and on and on. Look what they did. Look what they did at the White House on Flag Day with this president with this transgender men stripping on the West Lawn. Is that the? I mean, I can't believe it.
I know, I can't. Hey, Richie, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Yeah, they've banned that influencer from returning to the White House. Well, it's a little late. It's a little late. The very fact that they felt, you know, the only reason they banned that influencer that went topless at the White House is because such a big to-do was made about it in the media. They just did it to save face. They were fine with it. Everybody at the White House knew that they went topless and did nothing about it. The ban came because there was public outrage. You know, this cancel culture that's going on with the left has gotten out of control. You see this a country singer, young girl, she was canceled from an event from performing because she performed the national anthem for Donald Trump. She sang a song to Donald Trump, the national anthem, and she's been canceled from appearing at this event in Cape Cod. These people on the left, I feel bad for the girl, but don't worry. Don't worry. The American people have woken up. We're the ones that are woke, not them. They're asleep. They call themselves woke. They're sound asleep, and we're wide awake. We're the ones that are woke, and we know exactly what is going on. Did you know, this is a story that has slipped under the... Let me tell you how bad things have gotten for the left. Do you know that Starbucks around the country are removing their Pride merch and also telling employees not to wear Pride merch? It's Pride Month, by the way. Why do you think that is? Because there's such outrage around the country, it's hitting their customer base. It's hurting their business. I never thought I'd see the day where Starbucks would pull their Pride merch and tell their employees not to wear it. Big stuff. Big stuff's happening. There's been a big change in this country, and it's all good. May not seem that way, but it is. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hi, it's Kate from Will Floor You. Your home remains your best investment, so why not jazz it up with new flooring? We're featuring Kerastan carpets, waterproof LVT, and engineered wood. For over 30 years, Kerastan has been a very important part of our flooring option. The high style and emphasizes on products that add value, aesthetics, and ease of everyday maintenance. Make Kerastan the best choice for your next flooring purchase. Here at Will Floor You, you can get the very best price on that new Kerastan carpet, who has long been a household name. We want our new
What?
homeowners to discover the great
What was it?
The amount calling yesterday.
Oh, that was one guy. Yeah, 1,018 calls this week. That's crazy.
So, like, that reminded me of, that's why I was like, hey, show me a little bit yesterday.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count that guy.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like I figured it's,
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Especially from yesterday alone, though. Not that guy, all the people calling this happy birthday, probably trying to want
Yeah. Yeah. I know, 1,018 calls. I usually don't pay attention to that. I don't look at that ever. But I had to make an adjustment on our phones because we have some new phone lines added, and I just saw it. So I don't know what we normally get. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. You'll love this channel. Not only do I live stream when I'm here on the radio, I upload my podcast. I do live streams from my other studio where I also take live calls. I'm streaming on the weekends. I vlog. So if you're new, you'll love this channel. If you love Trump, and if you don't love Trump, you will. There are a lot of people that watch here that used to be never Trumpers that now are on the Trump train.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Did you hear the weather report at the top of the hour? It's going to be in the 90s today, but did you hear the heat index? Those of you that are new to Florida, all these transplants, they don't know. You know how up north they've got the wind chill factor? The wind chill factor is what the temperature is and how cold it really feels like. The heat index is the heat version of that, right? There's the temperature, and then what the temperature actually feels like, right? What the actual temperature is and what it feels like. I don't understand. The temperature should be what it feels like. I don't understand that. I'm not a meteorologist. But today it's going to be in the 90s, but it's going to feel like 100 degrees. Can you imagine? And it's only June. Oh my goodness. I know. We got a long way to go. Well, let me tell you, that means we're going to have hot days. We're going to have hot nights too. And having a problem at night when it's hot, sleeping is very common, unless you get these great MyPillow products that I'm always talking about. You know, the MyPillow 2.0 with cooling technology keeps your head, keeps your face the perfect temperature all night long. No matter what the temperature is, no matter what the heat index is, you're going to be the perfect temperature on your MyPillow 2.0. It has cooling technology, the same patented fill inside, but the material outside is that cooling technology. It's buy one, get one free with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. The 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, which turns your whole bed into a MyPillow, the 2.0 mattress topper has cooling technology in it. So it perfectly regulates your body temperature. Perfect. You'll never be the wrong temperature. You'll be sleeping like Goldilocks, no matter if it's 100 or 110 degree heat index. And there's nothing worse than being so hot at night, you can't get the right temperature. You just can't sleep. That won't be the case. So go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code KANE. The 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper 2.0 with cooling technology is 40% off and free shipping with our promo code KANE. You can also order by phone toll free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, now before I get to some new stuff, let me recap, because we had big news at 6, okay? Huge news at 6, okay? And this is something the media are not reporting these things because they don't want you to know what's going on. First, this is huge. Okay, so we've known for a long time that there's a D.C. grand jury in the Mar-A-Lago case. And then we found out just like 2 weeks ago out of the blue that there was this Miami grand jury. We didn't know about it. And then that's where the indictment came, right? And the arrest came out of Miami. Well, what we found out, well, what I found out that I broke at the top of the hour, what I found out last night, the D.C. grand jury's done. The reason there was a Miami grand jury, they don't have two grand juries. Jack Smith, the special prosecutor, couldn't bring charges in the D.C. grand jury because Mar-A-Lago is in the Florida Southern District. So we're not going to get an indictment from the D.C. grand jury. That's done. Pretty good news, huh? Didn't tell you that on TV, did they? That's great news. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Palm Beach.
Hey, Kathy, what's up? You're on. That's the third caller that's happened to today. We're on the air and the line goes dead. So I don't think it's the call. I think there's a problem with the line. It's on. Yeah, I think it might be that line, Mike. It's happened with 3 callers now. I thought the first one were just cranks, but it happened with her. So I don't know. We'll find out. And it's only happening on that one line because the callers on the other lines have been fine. So I don't know. Well, maybe we got to do a reboot on the phone. I don't know. We'll see. We'll look at it during the break, guys. So that is an amazing thing because I was not happy about this. We had a great victory the other day, but I was kind of expecting an indictment out of D.C. on the document case too, on top of the Miami indictment. But now the D.C. indictment, that's done. It's not going to happen. That's a good thing. I know. They don't want you to know about all this good stuff. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, Pat. Excuse me, Pat from PA.
All right. What's up, Pat?
Yeah, I'm watching all these evildoers on the left, probably because the indictment's a big deal and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I think keep an eye on the evildoers in the GOP because they got the same plan that the left has for taking Trump out.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're in a one-party state right now, is the reality. There's no Democrat and Republican Party. It's one party.
Right, yeah, that's the same goal. Who was this Francis, this mayor down in Florida? Francis something or other?
I'm not sure I'm not sure. Francis, is that a person?
Yep. Can't think of the last name. It's in the Conservative Creed House. You ever read it?
I have, not lately. What about Francis?
Well, he's a mayor down in your end of the state.
Oh, you're talking about the Miami mayor running for president?
Right.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, I didn't think that was worthy of mentioning. Yeah, the mayor of Miami, which is a Democrat town, is going to run for president. Yeah, since when is a mayor outside of New York, and even they're not really that level, when has a mayor really been presidential level material? It's a joke. The reason a lot of these people run, it's a money grab. When you get a presidential campaign going, you can raise money. When you raise money, you have to pay a staff. You get your whole family on staff, and they're all making buku bucks. Maxine Waters' daughter, the daughters and brothers and sisters and son-in-laws and daughter-in-laws of all these politicians make a whole living just off the campaigns. So the campaigns like that are just money grabs. They mean nothing. Like Pence. That's why Pence is running.
Right. But I have a question for you. Your primary rules in Florida that you had to winner-take-all system, right?
I couldn't understand what you said. What about Florida?
Don't they have a primary rule where it's winner-take-all?
Well, yeah, but you can only vote for, in Florida, in the primary, you can only vote for candidates in the party in which you're registered. Like, I can only vote for Republicans, independents can't vote, Democrats can only vote for Democrats. We don't have crossover primaries.
Right, but what if they change the primary rules?
They're not changing the primary rules.
You don't think they do that?
No. No, Florida, I mean, we have a jerk for a governor. There's no getting around that, okay? There's no getting around it. He's a liar, he's a traitor, and he's betrayed us, okay? But the Florida legislative session is out of session. They wouldn't do it anyway. This is a very, very MAGA state, Florida. there's some Democrat counties here and there, but they're not going to change it. We've had Republican control of Florida for 25 years in the legislature and the governor's mansion. Since 1998, when Jeb Bush was elected governor the first time, Republicans have controlled both houses in our state capitol and the governor's mansion for 25 years.
Okay, well, I read this article in Conservative Treehouse. It's about this mayor of your primary roles, and it's about the Republican Governors Association. And according to this, they're going to put this article, they're going to put pressure on the governors to back DeSantis. Because all the donors to the Republican...
Well, I support that. Let's let these traitors all out themselves. Whoever endorses DeSantis is a traitor. I want the people that want to endorse DeSantis, I want them to do it so we know who to put on the list of people to never trust again.
It's a good article. I'm not sure.
I'll look it up. The Conservative Tree. I haven't been there in maybe years, to tell you the truth. I haven't been there in a long time.
Oh, they've been doing some good work on this.
Okay, sounds like it. Hey, listen, thanks for the call. Hey, those of you on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. Don't worry about this mayor of Miami. I mean, I'm here. I don't even know the guy's name. I know the story. It's a joke. It's just another money grab. All right, listen, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. Come back with more news, which I haven't gotten to everything yet, and also your calls. All right? Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Celebrating 46 years on the radio. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
She said the Conservative Treehouse. I'll check it out. Okay. I'm just reading over some stories I'm going to talk about coming up. Conservative Treehouse is kind of boring. I looked over the Conservative Treehouse. There's nothing there that's worthy. Where am I? Oh my goodness, guys! I tell you, there's so much good news for us. I mean, these snakes. I call them evildoers, because that's exactly what they are. Evildoers. They've had nothing but defeat after defeat against Trump. Trump's been doing so well. They have this other spin. There weren't as many people in Miami at the courthouse as Trump was expecting. Are you kidding? There were a couple thousand people there. And that was the middle of the afternoon during the week in an area that is very difficult to reach. It's a very high traffic area. And it's a small area too. I was very impressed by the number of people that showed up at the courthouse in Miami. I'm texting. People text me constantly while I'm on the air, and I'll write some people back during the break. I'm texting with Steve right now. All right, here we go.
Cents a gallon bonus on your first tank.
All right, we're coming back.
Lot. Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, welcome back. One and all callers on hold standby. Our number 1-888 Kane 1. We've been talking about all the great news for President Trump the last 24 hours. It's been a lot of great news, and I haven't even gotten to all of it yet. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Ben.
Yes.
Hey,
Wellington, what's you gotta speak up?
Sorry, yeah, I was dealing with something bad.
That's okay.
I don't know, I don't
That's okay.
step away from it. But yeah, I was just calling because I couldn't believe that this whole thing came out of Miami. You know, to think that our great governor would be ahead and give us a heads up as to what's going on in his own state. But 2 weeks later, we have this indictment in our own state, but I was just curious as to how 20 Republicans could go against trying to hold Adam Schiff accountable.
They're fake Republicans. They are fake Republicans. They're not real Republicans.
They should be outed.
I'll tell you this, Kevin McCarthy, I haven't looked at the list of names yet, so if you have looked at the list of the 20 Republicans that voted in support of Adam Schiff, and there's anyone notable there, let me know, okay? If there's anyone famous or surprises, do you know of anyone?
I hadn't looked at it at all. That's why I was really wondering, because I'm like, it's so fresh and so early, all this stuff is just breaking it.
I didn't look at the names on purpose. I didn't want to get pissed off too much. Yeah, but I'll tell you this, whoever voted against censuring Adam Schiff should be removed from all committee assignments immediately. They should be removed from everything.
They removed multiple of our MAGA supporters.
Yep.
And then from multiple parties of having strength in the House and the Senate.
Yep.
And I just think it's funny that we can't even censure one of them.
They should all be, none of them should sit on any committees whatsoever. None.
exposes this deep state even more as the banana republic that they're turning this place into. And I'm just...
Well, listen, people in Congress, I've known a lot of people that have been in Congress. I've never known anyone poor in Congress unless they're only a one-termer. If they're there more than one term, they're all rich. So they're all compromised. And so what has happened is they've done something dirty to get the money, so they're compromised forever. So when they tell them to vote a certain way, they got to do it. And Adam Schiff, as much as we hate him, the Democrats love him. You know, his district is Beverly Hills, California. So some of the biggest donors of the Democrat Party are behind Adam Schiff. So the Democrats are behind him because their biggest donors are in Hollywood, right? Some of their biggest donors are. So, you know, that's the way it is. All right.
I know it. I hear you from you later. It's about to get louder. I'll see it.
I know. I drove through Wellington this morning on the way to the radio station, and I don't know. I saw some strange people in Wellington this morning on 441. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning.
Brian, it's Patty. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So listen, I got a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about. On this whole thing with the court system, all right, they totally tied their hands with what they did down in Florida. Because now all these other cases are put on hold, and there's a rule out there in the federal court system called Rule 29. And I'm not going to take up a lot of time, but you guys go out and research Rule 29. They've tied their hands. They have totally destroyed their cases.
Well, explain that to me. What do you mean? What is this Rule 29 and how have they destroyed their case?
All right, so basically, the federal case supersedes any of these little state cases.
Correct.
Brought.
Yeah, so Georgia's done. Georgia's done. New York's already done. Georgia's going to be done. Yeah, they're not going to be able to pursue any of them. Correct.
No, because the other thing is that you have the statute of limitations clock still ticking on a lot of this stuff. So anyway, there's no way it's going to get through the court system that fast. This judge, Eileen Cannon, she can actually, on the very first day, take this whole thing and throw it out. She can go over the jury. She can just say, you know what, this is a bunch of hogwash, and she can just throw it out.
Yep.
So anyway, you know, there's a lot within the Rule 29.
I'll look it up. Patty. Hey, listen, I will check it out. All right, well, thanks for the call. Now, I didn't finish with the breaking news about the grand juries and explain this to you properly. But this is an amazing thing that's happening, okay? So I gave you the first part and some of the second part, but I didn't really flesh it all out yet. But I'm going to do it now. There has been a major loss for the special prosecutor, major loss, okay? And this is what it is, okay? So I told you guys there's no D.C. grand jury against Trump now, right? They had the D.C. grand jury, and then Jack Smith found they couldn't charge him in D.C. because Mar-A-Lago is in Florida. So that's why they started the Miami grand jury. So we're not going to get a second indictment from Washington, D.C. So that's a big defeat because I was expecting a second indictment from Washington, D.C. I know you guys were too. The media haven't told you this. Now, here's the other thing. We got some information on the tape that no one has heard. They have said it's an audio tape now, not a videotape, but apparently there's an audio tape, so they say. I don't necessarily believe this, but they say there's an audio tape of Donald Trump showing these attack plans on Iran to these journalists, right? Well, that is not a part of this case in Miami. They're trying to make a move to start a second federal grand jury in New Jersey. Apparently, they're claiming the tape is at Bedminster or was recorded at Bedminster, one or the other. That's a little vague. So they're trying to get another grand jury going on. Well, this is what I think's going on. With the tape, there's one of two possibilities. Either there's no tape, and this has just been hearsay rhetoric, somebody claiming there was a tape, and I think that's the most likely scenario. There is no tape of Trump talking to people about sharing the Iran attack plans. That's one possibility. The other possibility is that, and they both kind of fit in together, is that they're trying to get out of the tape story, that they got nothing on the tape, that this is just a rumor that started, that they don't have a witness under oath that said there's a tape, or they don't have a tape, this was just a rumor that started, and they have no evidence of such a tape, and they're trying to get out of it. This tape that they've been talking about for 2 weeks of Trump sharing the classified Iran information is not part of this indictment in Miami. That's huge, people. Huge. And you're going to find over the course of the next couple of weeks this tape story evaporating from the narrative, because the tape, I don't believe, exists. And if there is a tape, it doesn't say what they're telling us that it says. This is a beautiful thing. Now, isn't it great? It is great. This is winning. And it's not supposed to be this way, right, Uniparty people? Here we are on Thursday, and we haven't heard too much celebration from the Democrats on the phone, if you've noticed. Now, President Trump is going way, way up in the polls. Ron DeSantis is dropping again. You know, there's a new poll out. It's nationwide, not a Florida poll. There's a nationwide poll and for the Republican primary, and it's the Morning Consult poll. The latest I'm not a big follower of polls. I never have been. But when it comes to polls, all I follow is the trend of the polls, okay? You see a trend in the polls, and I look at the overall trend. In the latest Morning Consult, Ron DeSantis, and this is nationwide Republicans, okay? Ron DeSantis is 40 points behind President Trump. 40 points behind in the latest national Republican poll. It's the Morning Consult poll. Trump is at 59%. DeSantis is at 19%. Do you believe this? President Trump is at 59%. DeSantis is at 19%. He's fallen. He's fallen. In fact, this is his lowest point in the poll that he's ever had. And he's fallen and fallen and fallen. He's had an anti-bump, and Trump is going up each and every day. This is amazing. And this poll is the first poll post-arrest. Now, the poll was taken over pre-surrender and after, so it covers both periods. But some of it does include after what happened in Miami, and boom, he's up, and DeSantis is down. DeSantis at his lowest point, 40 points behind Trump in this. That's amazing. That's amazing. And that shows you where the pulse of the American people has fallen. And the other people are a joke. I mean, they're not even in the poll. I think about this. In the Morning Consult poll, you and me, both of who, you out there listening to me, we are closer to Ron DeSantis among Republicans nationally running for president than DeSantis is to Trump. Think about that. We are closer to DeSantis in the poll than DeSantis is to Trump. 40 points behind. That's amazing. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane.
All right, and it's time to check in with attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. And the Siegel Law Group, Barry, you have a seminar coming up. I know you're going to want to talk about that. These seminars are a great opportunity for people to get all kinds of great information from the Siegel Law Group. Hey, Barry, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Doing great.
Good, yes. We do have a seminar a week from today. It's going to be in our Boca Raton office at 2 p.m. And if it's something that you're interested in learning about estate planning and living trusts and protecting yourself and your family and gaining peace of mind, then go ahead and call our office and make sure that you and your spouse or loved one get a spot, as we have limited space. One of the things that I wanted to talk about today is just how important it is to plan, because life is unpredictable. And I have a couple of sad instances that occurred yesterday that just unfortunately remind us of things that happen. I had a client come in yesterday who needed to deal with settling her husband's estate. They were on a vacation on a cruise, and he got ill and passed away suddenly. And then later in the day, come to learn that someone who, a younger brother of a friend of a family member here, young boy, 13, hit by a car.
Oh my goodness.
And died, yeah. So just these two things happened yesterday, and unfortunately these are constant reminders how unpredictable life is and how we can't take things for granted, and just, why we do what we do. We plan because, we don't have a crystal ball, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and we just need to be ready and plan ahead, because that's what responsible people do when they have families and people that they need to protect and not leave molest people.
Absolutely. And the seminar at the Siegel Law Group is a week from today. And one thing about these seminars that I've noticed in a lot of the seminars, I find adult children bring their parents to them. Very common. It's not unusual because you need to get things set up for your family. If you look in the news today, Priscilla Presley and Lisa Marie's daughter, they're in the news again today. I mean, these tragedies that we just heard from Attorney Barry Siegel. Take care of business. Go to the Siegel Law Group. It's always a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group if you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the show. And that seminar a week from today, you want to call and just let them know you're coming and reserve your spot because they do fill up. You can find the Siegel Law Group online at siegellawgroup.com or give them a call, 855 FLA 3782. 855 FLA 3782. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we will finish out the week tomorrow. Okay, back after this.
First, now the Steve Kane Show is on.
Indeed it is. Oh man, all right, back to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Stanford, Howard.
Hey, Bill, doing all right.
I don't know if you've seen it, but yesterday on the Chris Salado show on Newsmax, he put down the CNN reporter. It was unbelievable. I mean, he just put her to shame.
What happened?
Well, she wanted to talk about something else, and he started talking about what CNN did and didn't do. I mean, he just went bing, 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 bing right after her.
Well, CNN, when Bill Clinton was in office, we used to call it the Clinton News Network, but CNN has been an arm of the deep state forever. I talked about this. Dana Bash is CIA. Her husband that she got the Bash name from is a senior CIA guy. Anderson Cooper interned at the CIA when he was in college over the 2 summers. I mean, who does that? And if you even remember, back in Gulf War I, CNN's Peter Arnett was over there reporting for Saddam Hussein during the war. Remember all that stuff? CNN has been compromised since they went on the air, okay? And that's just the way it is. It is Pravda. They are terrible people on CNN. Look and look at how much power they have. They brought in that guy that Chris Licht, who was running CNN, who was going to bring it back to news, the guy that fired Stelter and Don Lemon, and they got rid of him. The deep state got rid of Chris Licht at CNN.
Well, they need to get rid of a lot of people down there, but the Republicans out here are turning the tables on these reporters. They're not letting them get their talking points in. I've heard that a lot of Republicans on CNN and other networks are turning the tables and going after them, and it's refreshing. I mean, it's just.
Well, what's going on is this, okay? Newsmax is on the rise. Fox News is in 3rd place now. MSNBC beat Fox News again last night. So Fox News is done. CNN is so damaged. MSNBC has not become #1 in primetime in cable news because they've gained all these viewers. They still have a low number of viewers, but so many people have left Fox. And the only reason Newsmax hasn't come up and taken third place regularly is because they're not on enough cable outlets right now. So it's hard for them to gain. But, Newsmax, their app is free. You can download it on your television if you have a smart TV or your phone or your iPad or whatever and watch them. Chris Salcedo, and they have there's three weaknesses with the Newsmax lineup, okay? Sellers, I don't like Sellers. I don't like Bob Sellers during the day. I don't like him. He's very rude and nasty. Chris Salcedo is okay, but he's a little weak. I don't know. He just doesn't have a strong personality. And then, of course, Greta Van Boring. But other than, oh my goodness.
Best by far,
and Rob Schmidt.
More Chris Salcedo, because I think he really is better than what you give him credit for.
He probably is. He just doesn't have a strong personality, I guess, and it doesn't pull me. I really don't watch television news. Okay, like Greg Kelly and Rob Schmidt, who I like a lot. If something big happens, I'll hear about it and I'll go online and watch it. I really don't. I get 99.999% of everything I get from the internet. And to me, the television news is just, it's too slow for me.
Me hooked on Newsmax.
Well, yeah.
I dropped Fox, and I'm watching a whole bunch of Newsmax now.
But there's one problem with Newsmax. I haven't, they are very pro-Ukraine war.
I didn't really get that, but you may be right.
Well, it hasn't been in the news lately, but when it comes back up in the news, you'll see. And I'm very much against us having any involvement.
Pay attention to that.
Yeah.
See if I agree with you.
All right. Well, I appreciate the call.
Have a good day. Enjoy your show.
All right. Take care. Yeah, I'm not dissing Newsmax. I like Newsmax, but nobody's perfect. But Greta Van Sustern's the weakest. Now, so DeSantis is way down in the polls, his lowest against Trump. Trump's way up in the polls. But there's a new poll out about Black Lives Matter, and this is amazing. Support for Black Lives Matter has fallen to its lowest point since the death of George Floyd. Just 51% of Americans now say that they back Black Lives Matter. I said black instead of back. Just 51% of Americans now say they support Black Lives Matter, compared to 67% in 2020. And I would bet that the number is actually a lot less than 51%. But when it depends on how they, first off, if you get a call from a pollster, conservatives are very reluctant to answer a pollster. They're paranoid about this, and they should be, right? I've been polled before. Have you ever gotten a phone call from a pollster? I have. And not for a while, but I've gotten them. But nowadays, people that are MAGA, if they get a call from a pollster, they think it's the feds trying to find things out about them, and they don't really answer. So that all these polls are oversampled with non-MAGA people, even if they're Republicans. So these numbers, like where Trump is, he's much higher than that, because a lot of MAGA people won't even talk to a pollster. But when it comes to Black Lives Matter, there's a lot of intimidation by the pollster. People, when they get a call, and do you support Black Lives Matter, they're afraid if they say no, they'll be considered racist. And, I had this happen to me personally. I called the police on a black youth a few years ago. And I talked about this at the time, but I'll tell you guys what happened. It was during the summer. And I was in my living room. It was the middle of the day, and two teenagers, one white, one black, stole the kid's bicycle from across the street. And I saw him. And the one who rode off on the bike was black. And I called the police. And I live in a nicer neighborhood than I realized. The response time, oh my goodness, it was like less than a minute. I had two police cruisers out front over a stolen bicycle. But I called 911. I knew the kid. The kid's, he's moved on now, but I knew the kid. He went to school with my daughter, same age, And I saw this kid steal his bike, so I called 911. And when they asked me for the description of the guy that took the bike, I paused for a second before I said he was black. Even me, with the 911 operator. And listen to this. This was crazy. So the deputy's in front of my house, and I'm talking to him and all this stuff, and and he gets a radio call. He's like, "Oh, they got the kids." He says, "Can you come and ID him?" I said, "Yeah." And they asked the neighbor. They said, "Can you come and ID your bike?" He says, "Yeah." So me and the neighbor kid got in the back of the cruiser, and they drove us to a park down the street. They had five deputies responded to this stolen bicycle. They were surrounding the kid on the bike. And so they had these two teenagers, including the one with the bike. And they drove me by, and they said, "Is that the kid?" I said, "Yeah, that's him." And then he asked the kid from across the street, "Is that your?" I said, "Yeah." And then he gets on, "Okay, they've ID'd the suspect. That is the..." I was all on the radio. It was pretty cool. Never had this happen before. And then a car pulls up. It was a BMW, and a woman gets out of the car she's black too, and she was the mother. By the time we got there, the mother knew. I don't know if the police called the mom or if the kid called his mom on his cell phone. But let me tell you, that kid would have rather gone off with the police to the juvie hall than go home with his mom. His mom, she went off on this kid for stealing the bike. She went off. But when I called 911, I was a little reluctant to say that he was black, just for a second. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Gary.
Hey, Gary, what's up?
And I got two questions for you. Since you have an encyclopedic knowledge.
Oh, yes.
Have you ever heard of President Trump mentioning the Convention of States?
That's the worst idea in the world. I know Mark Levin talks about it all the time for years. He wrote a book about it. That's a terrible idea. The Convention of the States would be a constitutional convention.
Right.
Listen, I want you to think about this, just with what happened today. Yesterday in Congress, in the House, they vote to censure Adam Schiff. 20 House Republicans voted no, do not censure Adam Schiff, who's the biggest liar scumbag in the history of the House of Representatives. Do you really want to have a convention of the states with all these rhinos in our Republican Party? You think that's a good idea?
I'm not talking about the near future. I'm talking about
never.
Trump.
Never.
Because I think the country is going to be in real chaos.
No, you don't want to do that. If they had a convention, Mark Levin's been talking about this for years, okay? If they had a convention of the states, right, a new constitutional convention, there would be no Second Amendment. There'd be no First Amendment. There would be a constitutional right to have an abortion. That'd probably be number one. But no, our Bill of Rights would be history.
No, what I'm thinking is after Trump assumes office, after the chaos, because he's going to go in there and fire about half the government. And things need to be, I don't know what the term would be, rearranged.
No. Do you know who wants to have a convention of the states more than anyone else in this country?
Probably a Democrat.
That's right. No, that's a bad idea. Mark Levin is so off on that. He's so off on that.
I'd like to see an amendment for a balanced budget, term limits, stuff like that.
Term limits are never going to happen. For there to be term limits, the people voting on it would have to limit themselves out of office. They're not going to do that. There are never going to be term limits for Congress. Never going to happen.
Second question. Have you, this is what I don't know or understand. If Biden did this stuff as a vice president, bribery, proof, we could still impeach him, right?
Correct.
If he didn't do it as president.
Correct. Yes. Yes. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. All right, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Don't go anywhere. Back right after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the Oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well on this Thursday. It is going to be another scorcher across South Florida. High heat indices up above 100 or right at 100 today. Actual high 94 degrees. Partly cloudy to mostly sunny and some isolated storms out there early and then maybe again late. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. This Sunday, treat Dad to a special day with great food and fun at PBKC. Bring the whole family to the Paddock Restaurant.
I'm just reading Ann Coulter's latest column. She is such a lowlife. I used to like her so much, and she's such a traitor. She's such a traitor. She hates Trump.
For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Here's your true Oldies ABC News update.
ABC News Now, I'm Tom Rivers. NATO defense ministers have been meeting in Brussels this morning. Before the sit-down, Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg stressing the importance of continued support for Ukraine.
The more ground Ukraine is able to gain through this counteroffensive, the stronger their hand will be at the negotiating table.
Word out of Colorado Springs that the accused gunman in the Club Q massacre last year, expected to take a plea deal to murder and hate crime charges, would ensure at least a life sentence. Anderson v. Aldridge charged with fatally shooting 5 and wounding 17. The Pacific Maritime Association has announced it's reached a tentative agreement with the union representing workers at all 29 West Coast ports. It's a 6-year deal, but no other details. And a statement, President Biden congratulating both sides, declaring collective bargaining works. This is ABC News.
You could throw your flip-flop at a bug.
Ew, about get it.
But the chances of actually hitting it are statistically so low.
I've shown some of you guys this before, but not for a while. My Apple Watch. Look at this. Is let me. Got to hit the code here. I've got the best face of any Apple Watch out there. Isn't that a good one? I love it. Doesn't get better than that. He's pointing right at the time. Do I have Trump underwear? No. I'd like to get some Trump Vans. You know, I wear Vans all the time. You know, I wish I could get some Trump vans. Anyone know where I can get Trump vans? I'd love to order those. They don't sell Trump vans at the Apple store.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve. Oh, great. Lots of good news for us and Trump in America today. Great stuff happening. Well, let's take a call or two, and then I'll recap. I love to recap this stuff. It's Jack Smith, the special prosecutor. Now I know why he was shaking on television last week. I went over it earlier, but I'll go over it again after we take a call or two. I love recapping the defeats of Jack Smith, this corrupt special counsel. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. Hi, Steve. It's Berta from Texas.
Hey, Berta, how are you doing?
Okay, but I've been really upset with what's been going on and everything, and I try not to call you Brian because I don't want to express the vibe. You know, I don't want to spread it. But I'm getting a little bit happier. But at the same time, my husband told me one question that I'd like to ask you guys. But I think this is a good question. What do you think Trump's going to do once he gets into that White House with all these rhinos and FBI and CIA?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
A massive house cleaning.
Yeah, he all these things that he's doing, he is going to use as evidence to fire them all. The Washington office of the FBI is going to be dissolved as we know it.
Exactly. That my thoughts exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if he brings it down to the ground and starts a brand new office.
Yeah.
Be surprised because what's Trump's personality? He's coming in hard after the guys who came after him. So it's
Well, you know, listen. This is the first time since the 1800s. There's only been one other president who had a non-consecutive term. I want to say, was it Cleveland? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. But this is the first time this has happened like this. He is going to come back with such a mandate. He's going to get everything done that he wants to do, and it's going to happen quick. It's going to be the most active. The first 100 days are going to be the busiest 100 days of any president ever.
I also believe that. He's coming in strong because, like my husband says, this is only making him stronger to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Numbers are going up, Brian. That's God's hand, like I say. I can't believe it's everything they throw in. It's coming out wrong for their side.
That's right.
Coming out.
You want to know what the most exciting new element is? I was
Which one, Steve?
realizing this. They have reintroduced the master villain of all time when it comes to lefty villains, Hillary Clinton, for the third act is coming in just in time to keep things really interesting. We get tired of beating up on all these other left-wing wahoos. Hillary is going to be standing there just waiting to join the party.
To be anointed.
Yes.
I think she's waiting to be anointed.
You know, when you mentioned Hillary Clinton's name, do you know what vision came to my mind? What do you think? No, you're wrong, Steve. What do you think? The image that came in my... Steve mentioned Hillary Clinton's name, and an image flashed in my mind. What do you think it was, caller?
I'm not sure, but
I'll tell you. And this is true. This really happened. I'm not kidding. Her ankles and her poor shoe heels. Her ankles.
Talk about her cankles.
Yes, exactly. Her ankles. Yes. Oh, my goodness.
it has to be a man who noticed that. I've not noticed that. I'm going to ask my husband. That is hilarious.
You know, I met Mrs. Clinton once. And, yes. And what... Well, there's no story now because Steve likes to tell the story. But not only did she have yellow teeth, she smelled like cigarettes. Is how she got the yellow teeth. So have you ever seen Hillary Clinton smoking? 30 years in public life, never seen her smoking. And when I met her, she's obviously a chain smoker. And she hides it from us. But yeah.
No, no, that's not good. My image was Haiti. All the horrible things that she did to Haiti.
She raped Haiti. She, you know, her brother, his name is Hugh Rodham, and he's morbidly obese. He ran for Senate in Florida many years ago, and we called him Huge Rodham, because he's morbidly obese. And Hillary Clinton, when the Clinton Foundation went into Haiti, gave Hillary's brother the contract for the gold mining in Haiti, and it was the first contract given to a foreigner by Haiti in like 80 years, and it just coincidentally went to Hillary's brother. They're crooks.
I know the lowdown story about Haiti because I got the honor of meeting the Attorney General during that time of Haiti.
Of Haiti?
Of Haiti.
Oh.
And he and I had lots of conversations, and there's a lot of things that haven't been in the news of what they've done to Haiti. And I was just appalled because it just, at that time when I spoke to him, it just reiterated my thoughts about the quote unquote the Clintons, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I had, like I told you, the stories are horrible. They did horrible things to.
But you know what though? Let me tell you something. This is, people say this all the time when it's not true, but in this instance it is true. Why do you think we're hearing about Hillary Clinton right now, caller? Why do you think?
Because they're slowly introducing her to get a Biden.
No, it's a distraction so we don't talk about Biden. Yesterday, we're not talking about Biden, we're talking about Hillary. You know, and no, Hillary, that's old news. Yesterday, Biden was walking and a reporter yelled, "Mr. President, are there recordings of you taking bribes?" When you hear, when you hear a reporter ask a Democrat president a question like that, it's over for them. So they're bringing out Hillary Clinton, not to run her, but so that we talk about her and not Biden's crimes. You know, that was beautiful. And Biden's walking around acting like he's checked out.
Well, Hillary doesn't seem to mind being back in the limelight.
Yeah.
I think she's going to get in, though.
Mm-hmm. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. I appreciate the call. I had more.
One of the things to talk about. Enters stage.
Yeah.
And we're off to the races again.
I have more stories what I meant the Clintons, but I'm not going to share them because Steve will give you the end before I tell the story. But I meant the Clintons actually a couple times, and the first time I meant the Clintons was at a hotel on Fort Lauderdale Beach, and they were at the swimming pool. And I want to say it was the Marriott Harbor Beach on Fort Lauderdale Beach. It's been a long time and I was drinking. But I think it was but I think it was there. And this was the first time was before he was president. I never heard of him. And all these people were surrounding them and talking. I'm like, who was that? And somebody says, that's Bill Clinton. I said, who's that? That's the governor of Arkansas. I said, who cares? Who cares? Who's that? The governor of Arkansas? Who cares, man? Little did I know. Tells you what I know, right? All right, now listen. When we get back, I'm going to recap there was a big victory for President Trump against Jack Smith, this special prosecutor, yesterday that I'm going to share with you when we get back. I did open the show with that, but I want to recap it for people that were not listening at 6 a.m., and it's great, beautiful news. All right, we'll get to that right after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser-away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr.
Hillary's not coming back. They just don't want us talking about Biden.
Treatment is simple and no side effects.
You missed the beginning of the show. Shame on you, Carol. Set your alarm.
Wonderful effect on joint pain. These are all FDA approved.
Now, you don't just help with knees. Tell the listeners what other areas you can help them with.
Any joint I can do. Shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis, tendinitis, bursitis, from the foot all the way up through the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the laser away pain system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. He's open 6 days a week, and same-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day. The buy one get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way too.
4 a.m. I wish I got up at 4 a.m. That'd be sleeping in, D. I got up at 2 a.m. today. My alarm's set for 2:30. I got up at 2, took a shower, and started doing my show prep. And I was like, oh, I better go in the bedroom and turn off the alarm on my phone. I'll wake up Kathy.
Just on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldieFLA.com.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. And, I want to talk about Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. He is our dentist. You know, Melania was not with the president at the courthouse in Miami. You know why she wasn't there? She had a dental appointment in New York. And, yeah, and she could have just gone to Dr. Gupta, and he would have taken very good care of her, you know, and she didn't. You don't have to go to New York, Melania. You can just go right here in South Florida, Dr. Gupta. Now, I just want to share a couple things about Dr. Gupta. He's been with us here on the Steve Kane Show for many years. He's the Kane family dentist. He's the dentist to Richie the bus driver, too. And this is, Richie the bus driver lives in Hobe Sound. I don't know what county Hobe Sound is in, but he drives across 3 Florida counties to go see Dr. Gupta. That's how good Dr. Gupta is. And Dr. Gupta is good on a number of things. One, he's a top dentist. There's no getting around that. It's also painless dentistry. And also, his prices. I mean, his prices are like out of 1987, okay? His prices are very good, very fair. And people are blown away by the fair prices that Dr. Gupta offers over at Brighton Dental. And
I'm a very bad dental patient because ever since I was a little kid, I hated going to the dentist. But I got to tell you that Dr. Gupta takes all that anxiety right out of the dental work. I don't dread going to the dentist anymore. He's got what would you call it? A wonderful bedside man.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you're in the dentist's office, but
chairside manner.
Chairside manner. Thank you very much. You gave me just what I needed. And Dr. Gupta, if you have any dental needs, he'll give you what you need as well.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, another thing about him, too, is he's a longtime listener of the Steve Kane Show. He's been listening to the Steve Kane Show since the 80s. So when you go see Dr. Gupta, it's like going to a member of your own family. You'll have an immediate connection because of that. Let me give you his number. It's 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. One more time, that's 954-922-4633. All right, so let me recap. There's been great news out of the Trump camp involving this corrupt special prosecutor. Now, when the special prosecutor had his press conference last week, He was shaking on television. His hands were shaking, and he was very nervous, you could tell. And I thought that was a little unusual because this guy's been doing his crap for a long time. It's not his first rodeo, okay? I couldn't understand. And then during the arraignment, the reporting is very sketchy on this. They don't want to give us a lot of details, but they keep telling us that Jack Smith was in the first row. To me, that means the first row of the gallery where the audience sit, the spectators. He wasn't at the table with the prosecutors, is what that sounds like, right? You're not in the first row if you're at the prosecutor's table. And I was thinking, he was nervous on Friday. Why is he not taking, he's the lead prosecutor. Why is he in the gallery? Why is he in the audience not taking the lead? And then there was another report that he didn't want to look at Donald Trump. So my first thought was, well, he's just intimidated by Donald Trump. I can get that, but that's not the case. He's had some major setbacks, and there's a couple of them. One is this, and this is beautiful, guys. This is beautiful stuff. Okay, so we've got the Miami grand jury that brought the indictment against President Trump that led to this arrest the other day, right? But we have the D.C. grand jury, remember, Steve? And the D.C. grand jury that Jack Smith has is also on the document case. Well, what we found out was there is no D.C. grand jury. He could not bring charges in D.C. because Mar-A-Lago is in Florida and falls under the Southern District federal courts, not the D.C. district. That's why there was a Miami grand jury. Okay? So there's no indictment coming from D.C. That's number one. Okay? Which is great. Because I was afraid, that's big. Because I was expecting another indictment on the documents out of D.C. Nothing's coming out of D.C.
That's not a...
Yeah.
Not an ideal...
Yeah. So that's one of three major losses, okay? The second is this. This tape we keep hearing about where Donald Trump shared the Iranian attack plans to reporters, that is not part of the indictment in Miami. It's not part of the indictment in Miami. What the press are leaking out, they're saying, well, that tape is at Bedminster. That happened at Bedminster, New Jersey. So if they're going to bring charges on that, they have to have another grand jury, which they don't have, in New Jersey and try to bring charges in New Jersey. In the federal court district that covers New Jersey, that is. So that tells me there's no tape. There's no tape. And they're using this as an out. So this tape that we keep hearing about where he shared the attack plans on Iran, that is not part of this indictment. They're trying to say, well, it's in New Jersey. We couldn't include it. So that tape doesn't exist. That's out of the picture now. They're going to still talk about the tape for a while, but it's out. There's no tape. That's two. And those are two big victories. Then there's a third thing. And Greg Kelly over on Newsmax uncovered this. This is amazing. And this is huge as well. And all these three things I'm telling you is why Jack Smith was shaken at the press conference, why he wasn't at the prosecutor's table taking the lead during the indictment hearing, and why he couldn't look at Donald Trump in the courtroom the other day, okay? Because he's done. I mean, it's not that he's intimidated by Trump. He very well may be, but he's got a loser case, and he's stuck with it, and he's screwed, okay? So there's no tape. There's no D.C. grand jury. And then this is what Greg Kelly pointed out. He did something that no one else has done. Read carefully the 32-page indictment against President Trump. Now, we've been seeing on television, and this was entered into the indictment, photographs of all of these boxes, right? The stage stacked with boxes, the bathroom, boxes to the ceiling, and then they got that storage room that kind of looks like a garage, more documents, more boxes stacked to the ceiling. And what they've been telling us is these are all classified documents. And there's like, I don't know, 100 boxes, maybe more. And they're telling us these are all classified documents. Well, Greg Kelly at Newsmax read the indictment in detail, which no one else has pointed this out. Even all these legal analysts that are all over the news have not pointed this out. I didn't catch this either. There are only 102 classified documents that were seized by the investigators. So when they broke in the Mar-a-Lago, there's 102 documents that they say that he illegally possessed. And they said the number of pages that they take. It's like 1,100 pages, right? So there's 1,100 pages of documents, 102 documents totaling 1,100 pages. So Greg Kelly took 1,100 pieces of printer paper and put them in a box. It filled half the box. Didn't even fill a whole box, filled about half a box. So all these pictures of boxes that we're seeing, that's a misrepresentation of what they found. They seized classified documents that don't even fill up half of a box. But they're giving this false impression that he had about 150 boxes all filled with classified documents. And this just came public yesterday, courtesy of Greg Kelly from Newsmax TV. So those are three major blows to the special prosecutor. That's why he's shaking on TV and can't look at Trump. He's screwed. This is awesome, Steve. I mean, this is... Now, these things I'm sharing with you have not become widely well known yet, okay? Greg Kelly had that one. The other two I'm bringing to you. So you're getting a lot of breaking news here on this. But the reason that they look so physically ill on CNN, the reason Jake Tapper's yelling at his producers on camera, "Get out there! What are you doing?" It's because they know all these things that I'm sharing with you right now. They're just not reporting on them. So this is just a great 48 hours, Steve. I mean, we've just had
So
they're going to toss the judge. I'm telling you, the judge is going to toss the case.
ironic. I mean, it's just too beautiful. They've been waiting for this forever, and it was going to be their big moment. They're,
Oh, yes.
tripping the sun, and it's just come unglued for them.
Oh, yeah. And they're blown out of the water.
And I love the way that when they get up and they say, "Well, I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to bring you the news because it
Doesn't fit our narrative.
doesn't fit our."
It's bad news to us, so we're not going to share it. Listen, if you're on hold, don't go anywhere. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour and come back with your calls. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve is here. I'm Brian. We'll be back right after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well on this Thursday. It is going to be another scorcher across South Florida. High heat indices up above 100 or right at 100 today. Actual high 90.
It doesn't even fill up half a box, 1,100 pages. So why are they showing these boxes stacked to the ceiling? They got nothing.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
The Major Expressway still crashed through this morning, but seeing delays on 95 and southbound from Lantana Road to Atlantic Avenue. Also 95 and westbound from Houston Beach and Boca. We have a multi-vehicle crash in Lake Worth, 10th Avenue north of Outlaw Road, Military Trail on Old Boynton Road, and also in Wellington, a crash on 441 south of Forest Hill Boulevard. This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida. Hey shoppers, this is local farmer letting you know that Florida watermelon is in season right now. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida local while you shop. Learn more, follow freshfromflorida.com from the Florida Department of Agriculture. That's traffic, Chris Barr.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. This Sunday, treat Dad to a special date with great food and fun at PBKC. Bring the whole family to the Paddock Restaurant where everyone can enjoy exceptional dining with USDA prime steaks, fresh seafood, and more. Plus, the Paddock is featuring 20% off the check on Father's Day, June 18th. PBKC's your entertainment destination. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. Tom Laporta will give you a free evaluation. Laporta Contracting was voted one of the best general contractor and best roofers in South Florida. He's honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and will never sell you a roof you don't need. If you have an insurance claim, call your insurance company immediately. Then call Tom Laporta. New laws are in effect and allow Tom to negotiate directly with your insurance company on the cost of all repairs, so you don't necessarily need to employ a public adjuster or a lawyer. Tom can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, laportacontracting.com.
Hi, this is Maureen Cohen from Nutrition World Palm Beach Gardens. We are so excited to be celebrating 50 years here in South Florida. The Cohen family started their first health food store in 1972, and ever since have been one of the largest locally owned, family-run health food stores in the area. We carry thousands of supplements like vitamins, minerals, herbs, homeopathics, diet and fitness, and so much more. All your favorite top-quality brands. We also have tons of natural foods like gluten-free, paleo, and organic, as well as health and beauty aids, pet foods, and more. Visit Vanessa, Trish, Jensen, Scott, and Bruce. They're here 7 days a week for all your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition World at the northeast corner of PGA Boulevard and Prosperity Farms Road in the Carmine's Market Plaza by the Prosperity entrance. You can call us or text us anytime at 561-626-43.
Steve Kane Show.
That's 626-4377. Or check out our website at nutritionworld.com. Come see us 7 days a week at Nutrition World, Palm Beach Gardens.
Do you suffer from knee pain? Have you been told that you have bone-on-bone or need a knee replacement? Have you been told that you have osteoarthritis? Well, then come see us at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have non-surgical solutions that include rehab and injections that can prevent you from having to have surgery or prolong the surgery. We've been in practice for 75 years in South Florida. You don't have to live with pain any longer. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
Are you a business owner or are you interested in growing your bottom line? Then it's time to join the Boca Raton Chamber of Commerce with members from Jupiter to Miami. You can mingle at their monthly breakfast or after-hours network. Join a leads group. Learn something new at a masterclass or attend one of 3 women's events. There are over 300 events to choose from, including one for young professionals. Sound interesting? Call Allison or check out bocachamber.com. There is a 95% business tax deduction if you join before the end of the year.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. The prices are guaranteed to be the lowest.
Do we have anyone in Australia? What time is it in New Zealand and Australia right now? Because I'm texting someone in New Zealand. I don't know what time it is. 12-hour difference? 12 hours ahead or behind? So is it 8 tonight or 8 p.m. last night? 12:30 a.m.? They might still be up.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. So that's a lot of great news. Oh, yes, and Ron DeSantis is at his lowest point ever in the morning consult, 40 points behind Donald Trump in the latest morning consult poll that came out yesterday afternoon. So we got a lot of great news today, Steve, that we're celebrating. Yeah, great day. Yeah, exactly. Our number one, 888 go Kane 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Helen from Massachusetts.
Hey, Helen.
What you said about what Red Kelly reported. Now this confirms. I have suspicions about them. That this probably had nothing to do with classified documents, the raid at Mar-A-Lago. That was just their way of getting into Mar-A-Lago, because they went through Melania's closet, all her stuff. They went into Barron's room. That tells me that they're specifically to get dirt on the president that they can hold over his head to control him, the way they control each other in Congress.
Yeah, well, they didn't find anything.
They found absolutely nothing, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
That's right. I know. Hey, listen, thank you for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once. Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name?
Oh, my name is BJ.
Oh, here we go, Steve. Yes, I know. Yeah.
Can you hear me? This guy today, Brian. He's suffered a great loss, and I can imagine how foolish you must feel, and we're not going to hold it against you.
All right.
You're still a member of the club.
What's on your mind, BJ?
Yeah, okay. Thank you. I've been listening to your show, and just want to share my view about it. Back in the days, we used to think, I'm a foreigner, right? Back in the days, we used to think America is the best nation in the world. Think about America is the top notch.
It is, yes.
But now, with all these things going on, America is one of the worst nations in the world. As in, what you see in third world country. It's a shame. It happens here in America that democracy.
Well, listen. What they're doing might be what they do in third world countries, like the one this accent is from. But we only become a banana republic if they win. And to me, it looks like so far the system is working this out.
For the
police state.
State people.
Yeah, but the thing is that even at that, if the system, if Trump ends up winning all these cases, still, that's how America portrays themselves to the world shows that they are low life government.
They are low life. Hey, listen, thanks for the call, BJ.
The accent a little bit.
I understood low life.
Work if you're incomprehensible.
I know, I tried. I didn't want to be, I wanted to have diversity today,
Who's gonna?
I don't know. I have no idea. What's your name, caller? Where are you calling from?
My name is Kim Cho.
Yes, Ken.
Okay, I'm calling from Pyongyang.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I didn't understand what he said, but I dumped it just in case. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. No. He's there. I had to hit the dump button, and they are long gone. Oh my goodness. See, I told you it was a great news day. I remember. Okay, let me give you guys an idea. When liberals get good news, they call and laugh at us on the air. When OJ was acquitted for murdering 2 people that he clearly killed, our lines were lit with black liberal O.J. Simpson supporters celebrating and laughing at us for like weeks. When Obama won the presidency the first time, our phones were lit up for 6 months with people laughing at us that we lost and Obama won. And here we are, a week since the indictment, 2-3 days now since the arrest of President Trump, and look at the liberal callers. No laughter, no celebrating, misery, fake voices, fake accents, profanities. Yeah.
Or the position they're in.
Yeah, I know.
Their dreams have turned to dust.
Yeah, sometimes, I get text messages during the show from people that know me and know Steve and friends of mine and stuff like this. And they say, why do you put these people on the air? Because I think when you hear the reaction from the liberals after this happened, I think it's better than a poll. I think it's very, very constructive. I think it's a very good statement as to the pulse of the American left. They got the indictment. Trump got arraigned, and they're miserable because they're losing. I mean, if they arrested Biden and Hunter on bribery charges, I think we would be celebrating today that the American system worked and this criminal is being brought to justice. I don't think we'd be depressed on the air if they arrested Joe and Hunter for the bribes that we just found out about, that they got evidence of. We'd be celebrating, because we wouldn't have an outlaw who takes bribes running the country. But the Democrats this week they're devolving, is what they're doing. This is not what was supposed to be happening in their minds, and they're losing their minds. And that's a good thing, and that's why we put them on the air and don't screen the calls. Because and those of you, I mean, there were other instances I can think when Democrats have had good news stories, and they are not, they literally laugh at the two of us. And they don't even say anything. They just call in and laugh. But they haven't even been able to pull anything with Trump in this victory here, which is a good thing. All right, our number 1-888-OK1. I think the delay is re-engaged. At least I hope it is. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning, caller. See what we're dealing with, Steve? This is what's been going on today. I tell you, this is good news. This is a good day. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Donald Trump is so amazing. I've used this analogy for years. He's the Roadrunner, and they're Wile E. Coyote. They got all these schemes. None of them work. And it's when it really started to fall apart for them this week was President Trump's address to the nation from Bedminster, when he went through that Clinton Sox case. I forgot about that case. It's been a long time. I remember the story. We talked about it at the time. Clinton had those classified audio tapes in his sock drawer in Chappaqua, and that was a big deal. When that story came out, I'd forgotten all about that. And it went through the federal courts, and and Trump went through their whole defense, and he cited Bill Clinton and the Democrat Trump-hating judge that said the Presidential Records Act, the presidents can bring anything they want and declassify anything they want. That's the presidential prerogative. And that's when things started to fall apart this week after Trump turned himself in. They were very energized when he was going to have to turn himself in, but when that speech happened, they lost it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Mike.
Yeah, I was just wondering, did you happen to see Ted Cruz on Hannity last evening?
That would involve me watching Fox News. I did not. Oh, you did, Steve.
I did. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about Ted Cruz, but he's beautiful, man. He's just laid into the FBI. He laid into the FBI so bad it made him look. I mean, the FBI looked so foolish. It was crazy. I just can't understand why people can't see through all this. I mean, it's so obvious, but they just can't see through what's going on. It's amazing. Family members who I try to talk to, and they're just like, they don't. I don't understand it. I just really can't understand it.
It's part of this derangement syndrome that they don't want to like. The line that strikes me is that wonderful scene in A Few Good Men where Jack Nicholson stands up and he's kind of venting in the speech that he's making, and he talks to the
No, it's Tom Cruise says it, Steve. Or is it Tom Cruise? No, it is Jack Nicholson. Tom Cruise, he's talking to Tom Cruise.
He says, you can't handle the truth.
That's right.
What it's like with it, I love when they get up and they announce they're not going to be reporting on the news anymore because it's so unpleasant that they don't want anybody to hear it.
Exactly.
Nobody to understand what's going on. It's so beautiful.
Well, luckily, I don't have that Trump derangement syndrome in my family. I have no one in my family who's afflicted with it. You guys, well...
Someone you love.
Well, you need a new family.
Yeah, I need a new family.
You just can't, yeah.
All right.
Through them, you know.
Don't worry.
Okay, well, you guys do a great job, man. Love your show.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to take our break and be right back.
Cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking?
Platinum gaining $2 at $9.78, and
Steve Kane
palladium
Show.
at $29.
Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
And currently at $1,931. Yeah, that's down $11. Silver down 59 cents at $23.30 the ounce. Platinum down $3 at $9.75, and palladium is down $11 at $1,350 the ounce. So great buying opportunity today, especially with gold. We'll see how long it can stay below at these lower levels. Wouldn't surprise me if it shoot right back up over the 1940 down. I think 1900.
Wow, that'd be awesome. And remember, no matter where you're located, you can buy from William Youngerman, no matter where you're located in the world. He opens up at 10 a.m. His number, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Online, williamyoungerman.com, or stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman will finish out the week tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day. Thanks.
All right, back after this.
Social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane's here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I called earlier. I just want to clarify something. Probably it's not me. You said that people from accent.
No. It's one call per day. One call per day. The phones have been very strange today on the show, Steve. It's been a strange day on the phones. It really has. It's been, I'll tell you what happened yesterday with our liberals in the audience, because for the last 3 hours, when you've heard liberals call in today, they've all sounded like they're intoxicated, every single one of them. Well, I think yesterday was the president's birthday. And, of course, we had so many people calling in that are MAGA people who were so happy and energized and wishing the president happy birthday. These stories that I shared today, that the special prosecutor's case has just evaporated. DeSantis, who was their last best hope, he's at his lowest point in the Morning Consult poll, 40 points behind President Trump. President Trump at 59, Ron DeSantis at 19. Think about it, Steve. You and I are closer to DeSantis in the poll than he is to Trump. It's just... they've lost everywhere, and they don't have anything to grab onto for a victory right now, and that's why they've devolved into what we're dealing with. I mean, it's been a very weird day.
They have something to look forward to. They can look forward to Hillary's re-entrance into the drama, so they'll have Hillary to use.
What I don't know why that would be an option. I mean, she's like 98 years old. She's always been a loser. She.
It's not an option in terms of national politics. It's an option in terms of something to talk about on the phone.
Oh, I see.
Arguments and supporting this screw joke.
Yeah.
Trying to destroy Trump.
But I was looking at, during the break at the bottom of the hour, I went to the Drudge Report, and I saw this story. A caller called up and mentioned this to me, and I saw the story. I just didn't think it was newsworthy, but there's been a happening. Okay, you may have seen a story. The mayor of Miami announced he's running for president. Is that who it is? This is another. It's got to be another Suarez. It seems like everybody. How many Suarez mayors? I guess maybe he's the son of the old mayor, Suarez. Yeah, we used to have him on the show, Suarez. Xavier Suarez. Maybe this is his son. Well, anyway, I saw that story this morning, and a lady called in about it, and I said, it's just not newsworthy. And, well, I just went to the Drudge Report, which is not very newsworthy itself for many years, but there's something on the Drudge Report. This is what's going on. Miami mayor jumps into presidential race, this Suarez character. Miami mayor jumps into presidential race. DeSantis nemesis, reads the headline. So this is what's going on. They're looking to make him the front runner. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez is joining the crowded Republican field for president, becoming the first Hispanic in the race. who also has a national Republican field of support, they say nationally. I mean, I'm here in Florida. I barely know who he is. So they're looking to dump DeSantis for Suarez. That's why this is in the news today. So DeSantis is done. You know, let me tell you about DeSantis. DeSantis is a lesson for everyone, no matter what you do in life, and it's called loyalty. Loyalty. That's right, Steve, loyalty in the call. But, you know, when you're disloyal, look what happens to you. But they're looking to replace him with this Suarez character. I'm looking at the story. It doesn't say anything about Xavier Suarez. Maybe it's just maybe Suarez is just like Smith in Cuba. I don't know. But two mayors with the same last name, I would guess they're related. But he already has a super PAC. He's already raising money. He's running ads in New Hampshire, Iowa, and Nevada. You know, so yeah, so it looks like DeSantis is out and Suarez is who they're trying to plug in. Good luck. You know, Miami, the city of Miami is small. People don't realize this. Miami, the whole county is called Miami-Dade County, and there's 1 million cities down there. Miami itself is a tiny town. It's not as big as people think. It's not, you know, it's bigger than South Bend, Indiana, where Mayor Pete was from, but it's still a small city. It's not like New York or San Francisco or even Los Angeles. So, in my memory, maybe somebody else, I cannot think of a mayor who went from mayor to a viable presidential contender and got a nomination. Can you? I can't think of one. A mayor? I know some have tried, but I'm talking about actually getting from mayor to nomination without being governor or something in between. I don't think so. But but he's being described as a nemesis to DeSantis. So he's a Republican who, I guess, stands like whatever. But this is the beginning of the dropping of DeSantis. I'm a little worried about DeSantis because he's still going to be our governor for 3 years if he drops out. You know, we got 2.5 years of this guy still, and he's nasty. He could make a big move and try to get revenge on us all. I don't know. With the way he reacts is unpredictable. Yeah.
Advisors that are sincere and that are really interested in help guiding him to a positive future. He's got to move fast, and he's got to make up to Trump.
Beg for forgiveness.
Beg for forgiveness. And he's got to, the window is tiny.
The window's shut. The window's shut. I would guess.
Tiny, but.
Oh, yeah. It's nailed shut. I would think it's more likely he would drop out and endorse this Suarez character before he'd endorse Trump. You know, the DeSantis supporter, I'm not saying, what I'm about to share with you, I'm not alleging that DeSantis or his campaign did this, what I'm about to share with you. But supporters for DeSantis pulled a stunt this week in Orlando. Did you see the Nazis in front of Disney World? Okay. The Nazis in front of Walt Disney World, they had 3 kinds of flags, right, that I saw. They had Nazi flags, they had a white supremacist flag, and they also had DeSantis 2024 flags. And like with all these fake Nazis that are all over the place, all of the flags were brand new. Go and watch the footage. You'll see the creases in the flags. All the flags are brand new. And remember, real Nazis, they've had those flags for years. They're worn. They're on the wall. You know what I mean? So the people that support DeSantis brought in the Nazis in front of Disney World praising DeSantis because they think MAGA are Nazis, and if the white supremacists like them, they think we'll like them. All right? It was another one of those acts of desperation, probably Karl Rove's idea. But this Suarez thing, I didn't realize when I saw the story that they're looking to replace DeSantis with Suarez, and that's a good thing. I like that division. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, James.
Hey, I just think that everybody should make sure they pay attention to which one of our politicians are voting for what, and make sure that every election from now on, the only way we're going to get rid of these people.
Well, I mean, look at these 20 Republicans in the House that voted in support of Adam Schiff yesterday. I mean, give me a break.
Talking about these people, they're all covering each other's butt, and I'm personally tired of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Need to go.
Yeah. Well, they're going.
To go.
They are going, and DeSantis is going to be next. You know, DeSantis. You know, when he's out of the presidential race, he's done. He's done, and he's so damaged. I don't think the uniparty Republicans are going to be helping him too much. He's going to have to get a real job after he's governor.
And be able to get a dog catcher's job here in Florida at least. So.
Mm-hmm. Hey, listen, thanks for the call from Boca. Oh, I want to tell you guys, April 27th is our 5th annual Steve Kane Show MAGA Cruise. It's our 5th one. It would have been our 6th if it wasn't for COVID. And this one I'm really excited about. It's April 27th on the Celebrity Reflection. I'm excited about all of them, but this one in particular, this is the cruise we were supposed to take, but because of COVID, when they shut down the cruise industry, we had to cancel this one to the ABC Islands. Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. And I've always wanted to go to Aruba, and the other 2 spots are beautiful too. And my wife and I like the Love Boat. We watched the Love Boat, you know. And on the Love Boat, they took this cruise to the ABC Islands. It's beautiful. We have the best shore excursions we've ever had organized on this one, okay? But this month, the month of June, Celebrity Cruise Line is running their summer sales event. So if you make your reservation this month, you're going to get an incredible price. If you've already made a reservation, call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and just touch base with him, okay? And you also want to touch base about the excursions. The excursions on the last one, especially that catamaran tour we took, was amazing. We've got even more amazing ones this time. Give Ian a call, 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Deerfield, what's up?
How are you? You know, I saw a story getting replayed again about this, I don't know, it's a transgender, whatever, flashing their boobs at the White House. I think they need to remember something, that White House is our house. That house belongs to we the people. I look forward to when we can clean this garbage out of that White House and reinstate Trump and put an end to this crap. How much are we going to put up with this?
Well, you know what Democrats call the White House, don't you?
No.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. The house that slaves built.
Oh, boy, really?
You know, they ban. Okay, so the Biden White House banned forever this influencer that showed their boobs, but they only did it because of the conservative outrage. They didn't get banned on the spot, and but let me tell you, anytime there's a Democrat in the White House, look what they do. Bill Clinton was having sex in the Oval Office.
Pool parties with the women and stuff. I mean, I like the candidates, but I think some congressman was on and said, and looked into the camera and said, "You 81 million people that voted for Biden, is this what you voted for? Is this what you want?" It's very poignant moment, but this is just a total disgrace.
Well, listen. When you're doing what that person does in general, you have no sense of right and wrong. And flashing nudity at the White House, they don't even realize they did something wrong. They're so far gone in their mind. It's really sad.
Push and they push and they push. They get more outrageous and more outrageous. And eventually, while some people in the beginning kind of sympathize with what they're trying to do, eventually they end up alienating everybody, and they get thrown on the ash heap of history.
See, this gender stuff, we don't talk about it too much. And the reason we don't is because it's so outrageous and they're pushing so hard, it's going to burn itself out. And this thing with the White House is the beginning of the end of that movement.
You see, there's the total depravity on their part, and the moral code, the difference in the moral code between the Trump people and the Biden people. This is just, this is ridiculous. When prophetically we're told that a wave of depravity will sweep the world before the Antichrist is unveiled. I know this is a prophetic thing.
Yeah.
This is just too much. This is it's just unbelievable. But great news on Trump, and
oh yeah,
this guy is almost getting stronger by the minute. It's unbelievable.
And you hear our liberal callers the last couple days. Tomorrow is open phones. Yesterday they were a little off, but they could put sentences together. Now they're drunk.
Watching the liberal talk shows.
Oh yeah.
they started announcing they're going to stop giving you the news.
Oh, that's the best.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best. It's going to confuse you. We don't want you confused.
Goebbels Network.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
We don't want to confuse you. Hey, listen, caller. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Tomorrow is Open Phones. We call it Open Manga Mike Friday. Any and everything you have on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, is here. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. God bless America, and God bless Donald Trump.
UNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown.
All right, guys. See you later. Thanks for watching.